Hello everybody. Welcome to some Overwatch. I am Setka here with my co-caster Blue. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing today, Setka? I'm getting ready to watch some amazing Overwatch action here, brought to you by Space Esports.
I'm also doing pretty good, and our teams opening up this tournament are Bara Now and Goons. What are you most looking forward to at this match?
Oh, well, Goons had a pretty easy first round here, as one of the teams, wasn't quite able to make it through to the tournament tonight. So here in day one, Goons got a free pass. So their warm-up match is actually going to be right here against Barrow now, and I'm looking for Barrow now to see if they can kind of take Goons by surprise here.
Yeah, Bara Now is actually the #1 seed in this tournament, so they have a lot to live up to as we go into this game here.
Exactly. As being the #1 seed, there's going to be a ton of eyes looking on you, especially if you get kind of in a grinded out type match, especially in your first matchup this tournament.
All right, and we are heading on to our first map. It's going to be Ilios here. So, one of my favorite maps out of the game. There's so much unique geometry on all of these points, and it's not always a goat's mirror matchup here. So, hopefully, we see some interesting stuff come out.
Yeah. Nice control point, nice line of sights as well. You have, some cover towards the left, and you have some cover with the columns separating you right in the middle as well. And the point being low ground compared to the surrounding area is always something difficult to deal with as well.
Yeah, back in the day, this was a Widowmaker heaven. You would see people just absolutely destroy entire team fights. I doubt we see any Widowmaker with the way everything is right now, but always could be caught off by surprise.
You think we're going to see any goats here today?
I would put a lot of money that we see a good bit of goats, but I personally enjoy the 3-3 a lot. A lot of a unique minor microplay that can really affect things. And actually, yeah, look, MD2 is on that Doomfist, but I doubt he sticks on it, at least till the door's open.
Yeah, I love watching goats. I know that's not a very popular opinion. I will admit that. But it's just fun watching a 3-3 just go head first at each other and seeing who can mechanically outskill each other. And as we start out here on Ilios, it's Goons versus Barrow now. Nice poke action coming here right near the statue here.
Yeah, standard play. Reinhardt's trying to build as much ult charge as they can off the bat.
Goons look to be kind of stalling out this fight here in the middle. Barrow now does have control of the point if they were to take it. Looks like they're going to push Goons back out. And D.Va, MD2 on the mech. Just going to jump off the map for the reset here. Good play by her. Great team play here by the Goons as they take control of point 1.
Yeah, what Barrow now tried to do there with Nub was get a boop off onto the side and dislocate somebody, but Nub actually got too aggressive and ended up dying very early in that fight. So now that we're going to go at full 6, and the Goons actually taking a very aggressive stance here, maybe Barrow now can catch them off the surprise, because you don't see teams hold that archway because of what Barrow now is doing. Going through this small building gives you such a massive offensive advantage.
Yeah, I like how the D.Va, Lucio, and the Zarya were on the high ground there as a Graviton Surge comes out for the side of Goons, and they're able to take out Chinese Food Switch and Crimson with it. And Potato and MD2 once again go down. MD2 jumping off the map once again for that regroup here as we're going to come into a third team fight here.
Yeah, I mean, these team fights have been so one-sided that Barrow now has only had time to build 2 ultimates versus the full smorgasbord coming up on 5 ultimates. Would have 6, but Romanov used the graft in that last one. So it's going to be hard for Barrow to get any real entry. It's up to Switch with his Zenyatta to use the Transcendence offensively to maybe find a kill here. Both rallies popping out.
Transcendence is going to get popped here. There's the D.Va bomb, and oh, it finds 2! Humble with the double kill off the self-destruct there. And Dan Twist finds a double as well on Switch and Crimson.
And that was like some New York Excelsior level of coordination. It's so hard to pull off that Shatter Bomb combination. And you know, this team did highlight their tank line when asked what one of their strengths is, and you can definitely see why. You know, it takes a lot of synergy and trust to use your ultimates almost blindly in that coordination. And now we're on 90%, and Bara now has to go all the way to the side just to try and touch the point. Trapped in this small room here, it's going to be so easy to put ultimates off of them in the Sentry here. And they actually find Potato before the fight even starts. This is not looking good for Bara now.
They will have a Graviton Surge that pulls in the entire Bara now team there for a second. Self-destruct comes out from MD2. Doesn't find anyone. Transcendence gets popped as well for the Goons. This does not look good for Bara now as MD2 gets demeched. And he's able to stall there for a quick second as Goons 100-0. The first point here on Helios.
An aggressive statement too. Coming out against our first seed, they managed to hold them to just one elimination, which the only one they got was when Crimson had to charge to the point in overtime and managed to find Dan Twist. So hopefully as we head to a change in tempo, a change in pace, hopefully Bara now can collect themselves and get more aggressive stance here. Otherwise, it looks like the Goons might be taking this series up 2-0 in this first map here.
Yeah, I really like the play coming from Humble on the side of Goons in that Diva. He got a very nice self-destruct off with that Earth Shatter combo as well, and he had some great positioning on the high ground mostly the entire time while they were trying to zone Barona out. And also, Romanov, we can't let him, as he switches to the Hanzo here, playing the Zarya, he was on the high ground as well. Usually they'd had the Brigitte or the Lucio up there with both of them as well, but Romanov getting up there with the Zarya to get some nice damage down. Here we are on point 2 as they have an Orisa now being played by Matrix as he sets up the shield here right in front of the well, and they're going to get a nice little poke battle as Goons elects to go to the right side.
Yeah, an aggressive dive coming out here and against this bunker composition. It's going to be hard because Dan Twist had that flashbang on the McCree, and Nub once again dies to start off this round. And a boop onto Potato. Morbid lighting up this kill feed on the Lucio.
Yeah, Potato sent to the bottom of the well as Crimson. MD2 once again has to jump off so that they don't get staggered. And the first point here goes to Goons again.
Yeah, the first unlock. And I really want to see Bara now use this entire map because, you know, Ilios Well is a map that has a lot of alleys to go through, and when you're fighting this bunker composition, you want to deny line of sight until you're in their face. When you're on that dive 3-3, you're most effective in melee range, and so it's going to be hard right now because the Goons are rotating around the point. They want to play ring around the roof.
Humble, they don't even know Humble's there on the high ground behind them, flying behind. Dragon Strike comes out for the side of Goons. They find 2 with it. DMEC MD2, Chinese food goes down, MD2 goes down, Matrix does fall for the side of Goons.
Yeah, some cleanup coming up here, and now looking at the ultimate economy, and we see Bara now finally starting to get to those 80-70% on it, but the Goons have just been running laps around them in here, and now they have those defensive ultimates with the Transcendence and with the Lucio beat to deny them. And you know, it's 50%. Potato and MD2 and really needs to start trying to farm the ultimate more because that Graviton Surge bomb combination can really break a bunker.
Oh, Humble standing on that high ground once again in that nice little sneaky spot. They didn't see him last time. He does have self-destruct if he wishes to use it. Dragon Strike comes out again as Transcendence gets popped. And that self-destruct's going to find another double kill. And it also demeched MD2. Humble with some amazing positioning and great play out of the Diva here early on in this first round matchup.
Yeah, I mean, with so many defensive abilities on that 3-3, Divas normally don't light up the kill feed like they used to, but Humble reviving that, already finding for this first map. And again, 90%. Bara now has to rush just to get to the point. They're not going to have the full time. Crimson does have the Primal Rage, though, and on this point, it can be absolutely devastating, so hopefully he can find the value out of that.
Oh, but they did pop the Supercharger. The Fortify comes out from Matrix so that he doesn't get moved by that. Fortify, another Dragon Strike coming out from Romanov. He's been their a big highlight for them as well as Humble. And Crimson now trying to get some damage out, but as the Transcendence gets popped, this looks like it's going to be all Goons here on point number 2.
Nub actually getting killed mid-cast, and yeah, as it goes, the Goons 2-0, not even allowing a flip of the capture point to our #1 seed. So aggressive play coming out here. Hopefully they can keep that tempo up as we head into our second map.
Yeah, 100% to 0 both times. That was a dominating display from Goons. especially from Romanov and Humble. Romanov showing that he can flex from a tank to a damage champion as well. It was very great play from both of them, and I can't wait to see more.
All right, you get to see my beautiful face.
You do look amazing, let me tell you.
Yeah, not my best days, but not my worst for sure. So now as we head on to, it's going to be Baranow's picks of either Rialto or Horizon Lunar Colony. And do you have any preference as to what map you'd like to see, Blue?
Well, I really like Horizon Lunar Colony. You know, it has that really cool outside part where you can just moon jump. I like to do that, you know, to troll some games. But no, seriously, I like that map. It has pretty unique capture points as well as some, you know, little tiny nooks and crannies, some hallways, some high ground that is pretty interesting as well. But Rialto, not much that I like on that map personally, but it is a very good map to see being played by some top-notch teams. So either one is good for me, but if I were to pick, I'd definitely pick Lunar Colony.
Yeah, Rialto and Horizon Lunar Colony both show two different sides of Overwatch 2. Rialto, being a really strict and linear payload map, can show you what team is better at that pure mechanical coordination. But Horizon Lunar Colony, on the other hand, is a map that's so wide open, so sporadic, that can show you what team is is better and their synergy and working together, because those fights can go absolutely everywhere. So as we go into it, Bara now, might be heading to Horizon to there's more scrappy fights, as they really struggled to find any spearhead to get a good fight off in their favor in that last map.
Yeah, Ilios is more of an open map. There's not as many nooks and crannies, not as many confined spaces that kind of just clumps the team fights together. So maybe picking a map where they could do that instead of, you know, being so open, having those environmental hazards like the well on Ilios and like the side of the map could potentially give them an advantage.
Yep, waiting for Bara now to select what map they want to go to.
So just to let everyone know, this is a 2-day tournament, and it is double elimination. You know, is there any other teams, Setka, that really stand out to you in this tournament?
Yeah, I have a big experience with this tier 3 scene, and one team in particular, Metamorphic, we're going to see hopefully later today, are a really good squad. So, them, a lot of these teams are really good, have a lot of synergy, and some of these teams actually were created just for this tournament. So we get to see some more, scrappy sides of Overwatch out of there. All these players, though, amazing Overwatch players.
So we do have to, just to let everyone know, we were jumping the gun a little bit. It won't be Rialto or Horizon Lunar Colony because this is a round 2 best of 3. So it will be between Hollywood and Route 66, if I am correct.
Yep, we're going to be heading to Hollywood here. So our first hybrid map of the series, Hollywood, has one of the best aesthetically pleasing maps in the game, at least in my opinion. You get to see, 3 unique geometries, 3 unique lighting sources in Overwatch. Always nice to see a good change of scenery.
Yeah, I really like Hollywood too because I've always wanted to be an actor. So this map is really cool to me. But let's talk about the gameplay on this map specifically. Do you think we'll see any divas? I know a long time ago, back in the day, there used to be a lot of divas being played on this map, especially on the offensive side, because you have to capture that point before you can start pushing that payload. So they would just send self-destruct diva bombs right over that wall. But what do you expect to come out of these two teams here on Hollywood?
Well, Hollywood was actually one of the maps that when Baptiste first got released, you saw a lot of heavy use, because on Cafe up there, that little spot on the left of the payload, you can get such a strong bunker because there is no easy way to get up there. You actually have to walk directly underneath the bunker, and then there's a long slot lane behind them to break. So might see some of that, although it looks like Bar now going to be going with a 3-3 composition, but electing to use a Baptiste instead of the Brigitte. I've personally never seen this composition, but there's a lot of unique corner play to work around with the Immortality field. They're trying to abuse some of that, or just the wide open nature of the point. I don't know. Interesting to see how they're gonna play into this year.
All right, so we will see a Baptiste, as you were just saying here, by Chinese Food of Baro now, as they will be on defense first here. And here come the Goons for the first team fight of this one. They lead the series 1-0, so if they are able to take it here, they will move on to the next round.
Yeah, running that standard Ryan 3-3, gonna have the natural advantage without the Brigida there to allow that health pack and that massive stun. To say that though, Chinese Food gets an early pick off onto Madeiro's Zen, so gonna have to retreat back to their spawn a little bit here, the Goons are.
So as Baptiste is the newest champion, if I am correct, or the newest hero to Overwatch as of right now, how do you feel about him? What kind of impact do you see Baptiste making in the game so far? I know we've seen him a couple times in the actual Overwatch League, but you know, not so much in the 3-3.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a niche character. He works really well with that bunker, but so far, Barnaut's been using him to good effect on this 3-3 though, and Natrix taking a long ride to get Potato, gonna trade again for Madeiro, but you would much rather have your Zarya instead of your Zen, because Zarya deals so much damage and the main output of it in the 3-3.
Yeah, and here we are. Now, Goons are down 5-6 in this team fight. Amplification comes out from Chinese Food already. That is a pretty fairly fast charging ult in itself. And you know, speaking about Baptiste, that immortality field, I think that is just so much value coming out, especially when a big ultimate gets popped and they're able to pull that out. And as we say that, immortality field did come out there for a quick second as Matrix gets a nice pin onto the D.Va here. MD2 is in trouble. He doesn't have a mech. And now Goons looking to take this capture and start pushing this payload.
And Goons with amazing surgical focus right there. And that's really why you see a Brigida run in the 3-3, because without it, you know, the Goons taking full advantage of the fact that they can just fully commit on one target, not to worry about any hard disruption. Brigida is the only source of hard CC that stops you from moving completely, and you can punish on that by actually burning someone down in that half a second of stun. Without it, there's no one there, and the Goons take full advantage of that, get the aggressive, and now they won that fight so convincingly. They get to push past the archway and onto this high ground to further charge all 6 of their ultimates.
Here comes the D.Va bomb from the Goons as he finds Potato. Crimson did go down to Romanov as well, and Romanov taking the high ground with the Lucio on this Zarya once again in this game. Just spectacular out of this positioning here from the Goons, everyone. And now they look to push this payload. They only used one ultimate in that entire engagement, and we're able to get a nice zone going here as Matrix stands in the doorway and says, let's go, get out of spawn, boys. We've got 5 more ultimates for you.
Yeah, pushing very aggressively here, and I like it, because with Reinhardt, like, you know that your team is ahead of ultimates because they had to switch the Brigida later, so you can play aggressive to try and find those shatters, and a intensive grab coming out, gonna find everyone. The shatter from Crimson not gonna really find what it wants though. Zoning bomb coming out, so all these ultimates being used just to try and get to the cart from the Bara now here.
And a self-destruct did come out from the side of Baro now from MD2. Didn't find much value out of that. And that's one thing that we've been seeing both all of last game and most of here right now as the grab comes out. Once again, pulls the entire Goons team in it, and they just can't seem to find anything. Transcendence did get popped as well, and that was what I was going to say. The Baro now just isn't finding much value out of any ultimates here in this series, and that is the game changer. They need to find something. And speaking of that, a grab comes out from the side of Romanov, and they're able to clean up. Not during that, but afterwards.
Yeah, and despite them winning the fight, you know, this is now a good chance for Baro now to fully reset. These late spawns going to get wiped up, but they managed to kill Natrix as he was trying to swing into the grab, so he wasn't able to fully charge another shatter off of that as Crimson charged to the cart, having to sort of intentionally feed there. There's no way he's getting back to the rest of his team. 3 minutes and 45 seconds on this clock to push through C, and without their main tank, the Goons are going to get a lot of aggressive push here, so we have to see an almost perfect defense from here on out from Baro now if they want to stop that full capture.
Yeah, this is a huge time bank to work with here, especially when you are closing the gap on that finishing line. Out comes the Transcendence. Big D.Va mech out of Humble, and he finds one kill onto the Lucio. That is enough value there, as both D.Vas are now Humble and MD2 into a fight here. And it looks like MD2 might be losing this battle. Oh, he turns it around, and Humble takes it. But Goons are hanging on as MD2, once again, is the last person standing for Borrow now.
And the key thing is that they had to force that Transcendence out of there. So Romanov's grab is going to have a lot more value. Nub will have the beat to work with it, but you can burn through that. It is not unheard of to get 60.
Reinhardt has to touch, the grab comes through. It's still being contested on the payload, and now the rest of Borrow now is going to come out. MD2 does pop the self-destruct, and Matrix with a beautiful shield there. And they're able to finish off Borrow now and take round 1 with a full push, with a huge amount of time left in the time bank as well.
Yeah, I mean, Nub actually got killed mid-cast on that beat there, so a bit of unluckiness from that. And 2 minutes and 40 seconds is a very large time bank. Hollywood is a point where, you know, look at that last point. Look at that last choke point is so strong that teams can be held there for 4 minutes. It's not unheard of. So to have that enormous time bank is a very, very unusual thing, and that just shows you how aggressive the Goons are playing. They took one single fight that they won dominantly off of point A and used that momentum to carry it all the way into halfway through point C. So Barra now didn't really get a legit fight that they wanted to push into until that last point, and even when that came, the Goons still managed to take it. So hopefully Barra now can recreate this success on their attack. Otherwise, they might have to go to the losers bracket on the first round here.
That's right, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because Borrow now, if they do lose this game, they will lose this set, but they are not out of it at all. This is a 2-day tournament, and it's double elimination, so they will have a second chance. And now we see Goons coming out on the defense. They're going to go with that simple 3-3 here with the Lucio, Zen, Brigitte, and the Rein, Zarya, and D.Va. And for the side of Borrow now, they will break out a Widowmaker and a Sombra. So this will be interesting. They're going with the solo tank Zarya with a triple support here.
I think that Sombra is actually just for scouting purposes. You see this a lot from teams. Go up with the Sombra, see what they have, go back, and then yeah, they're gonna all wait and spawn as MD2 is gonna use that invis, see what they're running, you know, see if the Goons run anything goony. Horrible pun there, I'm sorry. But
they will make a switch as Potato takes the Zarya and Crimson does bring out Rein. And the D.Va comes out for MD2 as well. So just as you said, the Sombra came out, did the little scout research, and now they're pushing in with their 3-3 composition of their own. Ultimates charging fairly quickly here for the side of Goons as they get a ton of damage out inside this little house here. Now they're going to go back towards mid. This team fight going a little longer as they are going to go up the stairs and try to wrap all the way around here, just as Goons did. Instead, they elect to take the high ground.
Yeah, you see this a lot from teams to actually rotate onto that spot, which is normally called Gatorade or Plateau. So, because it gives you natural high ground, you get to drop directly onto the point. It actually split off Natrix. Has gonna charge Crimson back though, since Reinhardt gonna be burned down very early. You do not want to start a fight without your Reinhardt, because all that shielding is gone.
Oh, and this is what I like to see. This was looking very, very good for the side of Borrow. Now they had the point being contested, and they were able to push Goons back into that little kitty corner, and like I said, maybe take them somewhere where you can put them in a confined area because the open wasn't working for you. Transcendence gets popped. Oh, and a Graviton from the side of Goons. They're able to survive though, and here comes a self-destruct from the side of Goons, and Humble again.
How does he do it? Finding so much value out of these bombs, but it won't really matter because Barnas had such excellent point control that they're already close to 2 ticks. A Shatter gonna be denied away as he gets a boop from the line of sight. Natrix is back with the Shatter of his own now, so now the Goons might finally be able to stabilize as Crimson find himself in a very scary spot.
And they do have Earth Shatter, and Graviton gets popped one more time, and oh, Chinese food goes down again inside the Grav.
I mean, Romanov is doing such a good job of charging these grabs. It sort of gets like a little bit unseen, and yes, Goons, I love this. So you see like bumper shatters, like Reinhardt will hide around corners, ready for the full team shatter, and they spot it out though, not gonna find the value in a solo shatter.
D.Va with it though. Sound barrier does get popped. They had that in the pocket. They do have a grab, a rally, and a self-destruct if they are able to get some picks here, and they find one on Dan Twist. And this could be Borrow now's chance as they force Transcendence out from Goons now. And Goons have no ultimates. They are, oh, and Grab gets popped here. They will have Dan Twist rally if he's able to survive and get back in time. Transcendence gets popped from the side of Borrow now, and this could be their chance. A little over a minute remaining, and they are pushing the Goons back and back. And it looks like the Goons are going to just back up and let this one go. Borrow now able to find some success in this last team fight here.
On the bright side for the Goons, though, because they lost that fight so convincingly, they had elected to give it up, and now, unlike what Barnow got on their attack, the Goons get to hold this choke right here where these doors are opening, and it's such a strong choke point that it gives the defenders a much more advantageous position as they push into this. And watch now, Barnow has to retreat all the way back into their
humble
spawn.
Diva Bomb, you can guarantee one. Oh my, that's the first time. And a Diva Bomb coming from the side of Borrow now. Both of them, no value, no damage, no kills being able to be found on those. And, you know, there's almost something you can for sure count on, and that's a humble Diva kill from the ultimate, but it didn't come through this time. And now, you know what the other thing you can for sure count on is Romanov trying to take the high ground to Zarya, as he has Grav ready to go.
Yeah, Barnow winning that fight with a lot of help of Chinese food on the brig, lighting up that kill feed. And now, Crimson taking this, like this little lip of this ledge right here, he's going to be in a good position to find a shatter because you can't really block that from the high ground. You're going to have to drop onto the cart, though, as the Goons aggressively not wasting any time getting right back into this. And they go a nice three-man shatter, but no really follow-up there. The Trance can deny all of the incoming damage.
Yeah, no follow-up doesn't really make the Earth Shatter, you know, as value as it could have been. Transcendence does get popped from the side of Borrow now here. Here comes another Diva mech from Humble, and he finds Crimson. And now they're down a Rhine as they look to try and finish this team fight out with at least some positive here. But Romanov and Humble won't let this go, as they're just going to back up and kind of give Borrow now some space here as they push it in. Goons look to regroup here. Matrix is back as well.
And you see, Nature is back, and so you see the rest of them having to fall back because that main tank is that important. If you don't have your Reinhardt and they have theirs, you lose that card. Despite them having numbers advantage, they fall back. And Romanov has close to another grab, but gonna die before he can cast it. Having to pop probably to stay alive is Nature in a bad position here. A lot of focus going to go into him. Dies for the trance to even get to him too. So it looks like Bar now finally gonna be able to start pushing this card farther into C.
Bar now is doing a great job here. They are forcing some movements out. They're not finding much value, but they're still cleaning up the kills afterwards. After the Transcendence is done, they find kills on Madero and Morbid. And now they look to try and reach this checkpoint here. And we might not see Goons try to contest this. We see Romanov getting some poke damage there. Diva's going to come in behind them. Oh, and Diva's going to be contesting, so it looks like Goons are going to try and stop this, but it doesn't really work out.
From Crimson stops them from getting to the cart, and they've already used ultimate this. Humble used the Diva Bomb for the cart to push through, so now all these ults are completely to waste.
I think Humble had to pop that Diva Bomb there in his own mind. He said, hey, I don't want to lose my mech here because then I'll be so exposed. I'm just going to pop it. That way I get my Diva Bomb, my Diva mech right back right away. I think that was the questionable ultimate. Maybe you could have let yourself die. Maybe you could have backed up. They had already gotten the checkpoint. They had already opened the doors.
And now as we look into this fight, Bar now finally has momentum. And along with that, their ultimate bank is so heavier. They're going to have all 6 ultimates as this fight starts. So Goons really need to win this fight and win it convincingly. Because if they don't win now, Barnow still has a chance to take that last point.
Oh, and here comes a Diva Bomb from MD2 as he's able to find a pick onto the Madero. And now Grav comes out. Transcendence from both teams. Oh, man. It's getting hairy in this little area right here.
And that's a nice grab from Potato with no real follow-up into it, though. So all those people sucked into it, not gonna die. All that's working out, keeping the sustain. Nature has another shatter up, gonna pop it and find what he needs, but the kills are still going to the way of Bar.
Romanov's gonna have to contest this. He's the only one there as Humble hits the self-destruct. Will it find anyone? No! A grab comes out from the side of Romanov, but that might not be enough. It's just Morbid on the Lucio. And Bar now finally finding some success. They don't have as much time in the bank as the boys at Goons, but still, it's a tie game here.
I mean, yeah, fully capturing Hollywood is not easy to do. As far as hybrid maps go, I would say it's one of, if not the hardest one to fully capture. So both these teams showing a lot of excellence on offense, but the Goons showing a bit more excellency on the defense. Now with only 1 minute left, that's not a lot of time. Usually, if you're playing 3-3, you have just enough time to build all those ultimates to get those synergies here, but Bar now not showing their excellence in ult generation. They might run something a bit more unconventional to try and break it, though as I say that, looks like they are going to be trying to run the 3-3 for this attack.
Yeah, both teams coming out with a 3-3 once again. You see your... Oh, we do have a Widowmaker being played by Switch, so let's see if he actually is going to be playing this Widow, if he's just going to use it for a long-range scope scout to see what's going on the side of Goons, or if he does end up playing, I want to see what value they can get from that with only a minute to go here.
Yeah, I'm imagining that Switch is doing this for the little spawn angle you can get. See if anyone from Goons pushes up just a bit too much. Maybe find a Lucio or Zenyatta, and that gives you so much more entry. So probably won't be staying on this as the game actually starts.
He will be switching back to the Zenyatta, which he has been playing so far throughout this entire set here. Goons holding the entire high ground here as they're going to be looking to get pushed in on by the boys of Baro now, and they're going to go full wrap around. They have to act fast. They only have 40 seconds remaining here. Ultimates may only be able to come online once for both sides unless you die, and you probably won't have any ult charge left in the tank there.
Yeah, and I like this from Bar now. Fully rotating around denies all that spawn poke. And, you know, they really don't want ultimate fight because they typically lose those in favor of non-ultimate fights here. Still, though, Natrix manages to somehow farm 60% of his shatter. We approach 10 seconds now, so Bar now has to get to the point here very soon, and MD2 actually flanking around the side to get that last second touch.
So Bar now is going to start pushing into the point here. They do have Transcendence if they wish to use that. I think that's the reason why, and they're going to pop it. Switch with Transcendence comes out, and he's trying to heal up his team so that they can survive this overtime. Graviton coming out from the side of Romanov, and Humble jumping right on top. He is going to use the self-destruct here, and no value from that, but it is a ton of damage. They did charge the Zarya, and it looks like Baro now going to go down with a fight, but Goons taking round 3 there pretty convincingly.
Yeah, and now as we head into this, right, Bar now needs to get the, as we call the fuller hold, where they got full held, now they need to full hold the other team as well in order to take this to a third map and then win that third map, and then after that get the tiebreaker to keep themselves alive in this winner's bracket. Do not want to head to that loser's bracket because, you know, once you face that automatic elimination, you can be on edge. You know, it's like, okay, this is it. If we lose, our tournament's over. You might start playing a bit more, not like yourself, more jittery. So for this team's morality's sake, I really hope they can collect themselves here because they looked kind of scattered to the wind throughout these first couple maps we've seen.
Yeah, and Ilios, they looked completely lost, for the lack of better words. But here, they're actually showing some promise. They were able to get a push. Now, granted, they didn't have much time in the bank against a team like Goons, but they still showed some promise. They looked really good there on that push at most points in that push. And now, if they're able to defend this, this could be a tie. Could come out as a draw, and that's the best that they're going to have to fight for here.
Yeah, almost 3 minutes is a large time bank, and hopefully we see more value out of that Baptiste pick, because on that last attack, it worked, but once Baptiste's long cooldowns were exerted, the Goons didn't wait for him to get them back. They pushed aggressively on them, and the entire competition collapsed around it. So, hopefully they can get what the North are looking for. And again, the Goons playing these short sidelines want to rush to the point here.
Oh, they're gonna back up and go back. It looks like they're gonna be doing the same game plan they had at the beginning of this game, where they came around the backside here. And it looks like Baro now knows exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to come back towards the other side, say, hey, meet us there. We know exactly what you're going to be doing here. Not many ultimates coming online.
Yeah, no main tank for the side of Baro now, so Romanov doing so much damage on this Zarya, gonna find MD2, so now already playing down 2, half the points unlocked. Crimson does head back and actually manages to find Dantos, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough, as it's really just Potato left alive.
Oh, and they are going down as Lucio tried to jump back on to recontest, but Goons capturing the point. And that's one thing to note. Maps like this, these hybrid maps, unlike most maps in a payload situation, in Overwatch, they favor the attacking team with that respawn being so close.
Yeah, now as we head into that, Goons capturing a nice 2-0, and our next match, I believe, is going to be Magnaventus versus Metamorphic, and I'm very excited because I am... wait. Lullaby versus Raccoonians. I apologize. So, heading on to that, I'm going to wait until these lobbies unfold, and who would you say was like the star player from the Goons there? You know, obviously...
If we're talking star players in that set right there, it has to be someone from the Goons, of course. And it's really difficult for me to determine who's the star player. It's between Humble and Romanov. I mean, Romanov had such great positioning as well as Humble on the Diva. Romanov, though, I think I got to give it to him because he was able to, Humble was able to find all those nice kills off of the Diva self-destructs. But at the same time, you know, Romanov, he's able to take that high ground control with a Zarya. I mean, he had, what, 4, maybe 5 Dragon Strikes in one round as Hanzo. So he's finding a lot of value, and he's able to flex from tank to damage. So, for me, it's going to have to be Romanov.
All right, and we're going to be heading to a commercial break, everyone. So grab your snacks, and we'll be right back with some more exciting Overwatch coming your way. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. Heading into some Overwatch action. Gonna have SK Rankins versus Lullaby. Are you ready, Blue?
Oh, I'm ready, man. This is match 18 here in our double elimination tournament. And Lullaby, I'm excited to see them because they actually have a coach of theirs, is a contenders coach. He's the player improvement coach for the Nami fighters in the Pacific region. So this will be interesting to see, and I'm pretty excited as well.
Yeah, Nami Fires has more coaching staff than the Houston Outlaws, so a little bit of break in my heart. But we are heading to Ilios, so I will be redeemed. I did mention the last game, it's one of my favorite maps, and we get to see the map we didn't get to last time, Lighthouse.
Exactly. Ilios, this is the another round 2 matchup, so we will see Ilios at first again. But then, they have the choice between Route 66 and Hollywood, and if we make it to a third map, Horizon Lunar Colony and Watch Point. So hopefully we get to a third map here because I want to see a lot of games. I love Overwatch. I want to see a lot of them, especially when a team like Lullaby is playing.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see because that veteran experience working in contenders, it's going to improve your team, not only because obviously you're going to be good at coaching, but because you have that mindset, that discipline to know how a team's supposed to work. And so Lullaby, going into this, I wonder if it's going to show in their actual play as to how they're disciplined, how they're using their cooldowns and their ults more.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you and I, before we started, we were able to catch the first round match, a couple of the moments there between Lullaby and Mirage Esports, and Lullaby just looked dominant.
Yeah, now as we head on to here, looks like SK Rankins getting onto this point, taking a dominant position themselves, but Karn getting a side angle, gonna get a lot of damage, and Jack's gonna fall without that main tank. It's gonna be so hard for the Rankins to actually hold this.
Oh, a nice capture there as Infernal tries to make it back on. They are going to be staggered, so they elect to just jump right back off. I don't know about trying to come back on there for a second or two. Get a little bit of damage in, able to build your ultimate a little bit more here. And now, looking into this team fight coming up here, we have Renok on the Reinhardt. And he has Earth Shatter available. They will have Rally and Transcendence here pretty shortly.
Yeah, when you lose your main tank in that first fight, you're gonna get such a dominant fight. And Jack actually being booped down from the high ground in a bad position. All those cooldowns elected to him, so now this fight comes on, they're gonna be in the advantage. A nice shatter coming through as well. No real follow-up, so now SK Rankins has time to stabilize.
Yeah, and I really enjoy this map right here, Lighthouse, because like most maps in most games of this genre, the capture points are usually right in the middle of the maps, right in the center, and this one is totally not in the center. It's right there off the edge. A lot of environmental hazards here as we see a couple people flying off as we say it.
Yeah, the Rankins finally managed able to get some stability on this point. Jack found a nice shatter there and just really good follow-up. So it seems like once they get into the fight, they start playing a lot better, but we've seen Lullaby play so dominantly that there really hasn't been anything past the early fight. It's been the early fight and a team wipe out of them. Heading up here now, hold this regress position. Lab has that Graviton Surge, and Frag does have that Transcendence. So that dance that we see come out of the Zarya and the Jin player are going to be at full swing now to see what team can find more value out of it.
Oh, and big Gravitons out of both teams here as Frag's going to pop that Transcendence. Milo goes down, however. No one goes down on the other side. A Diva Bomb coming out, and that's not going to find anyone.
And the point actually flips in the middle of this fight, so no matter who wins this, Lullaby's going to start getting charged, but it looks like they're going to win this anyway, cleaning up aggressively on these kills.
Man, I was ready for another humble triple kill there with the self-destruct, but I had to remember, that game's already over.
Yeah, you blink and you missed it. Now we're heading on to the second game, and Renok has the Shatter, Lab has the Graph, and this is why Goats is so strong, because these two ults can combo together to where you can use them one fight and have them for the next. So I really want to see Lullaby's
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at Karn's positioning right here. He's going to be able to try and boop someone off there. He did miss. Didn't want to get stunned by Raccoona, so they are going to back up. Another Graviton comes out for the style of Lullaby. It's going to pull in 3 here, and they're able to find a kill on the Raccoona.
Yeah, a really nice solo grab there, showing that if you can get that kill, you can win that fight. You're not looking for the flashy play, and it pays off as all of the kill feeds flood the red as we see Lullaby take their first round on Lighthouse.
Oh, the Diva Infernal from the side. They were trying to get into that point. They threw the self-destruct in there, but they weren't able to find any value off of it. Meanwhile, most of the team fight was going down off of the point, and Lullaby were able to win that fight and then push in onto the Diva.
Yeah, and so now as we head over to Well, it is a totally antithesis dynamic where you have to approach this, because now it's not, we need to shorten our link to the point, try and get that fight to where we can get an ultimate advantage. Where it's now, you see a lot of Orisa plays where it's get on the point and lock it down and try and play around it no matter what the cost is. As I say that though, we see mirror Winston 3-3s here, so both these teams electing for a more aggressive style, and hopefully we can see the SK Rankins finds their footing here before the round's already over, as a lightning fast capture came out there last round.
Yeah, and SK looking to go towards the point here as they try and get some poke damage inside this little temple here. And Lullaby are just going to push straight into them. They are now fighting in this confined area. A lot of damage coming out from a Winston who's able to get a lot of jetpacks off in there.
Yeah, Lullaby actually managed to do a complete pincer position, forcing all of SK Rankins into that small room, and then Karn and Marcio on that Lucio stopped them from getting out of the room, so Renok was able to cleave all 6 members for an extended period of time, and those kills fled their direction because of it. So really good map control out of Lullaby. Now as we head into this, Renok most likely going to have that Primal Rage, one of the most deadly ultimates in the game when used to its full potential, so interesting to see how they play around him here.
Yeah, and he is getting bubbled a lot from this Zarya here being played by Lab, so he has extra protection, not to mention the healing coming through as well. And, you know, not much poke coming from the side of SK here as they're going to look to jump in now. Point is getting contested, and now they're going to look to fight underneath the Lighthouse here. Transcendence does get popped from Fallen. Diva Bomb comes out for the side of SK. They are able to find a kill. They are able to take down Funny Hunter and Fallen. And now Primal Rage being popped from both teams here, and they're kind of just smacking each other around, seeing who can put who in the well. And Renok goes down as SK is able to capture here. And now they look to zone out as they are down 55% to 0, so they're going to look to gain some here.
Yeah, Well is one of those hard points to capture where you can see teams go 99 to 99 very often because of how much it takes to really get in there. So a 55% flip is more than acceptable from SK Rankins here. Love them does have this grab here to also keep the tempo going.
Oh, and a grab gets pulled inside the Lighthouse. It does pick up Lum, and they're able to burn them. And now Raccoona on the Brigette goes down, and it looks like SK has trouble here.
Yeah, a very nice, clean sweep from Lullaby as they push in. Now can take an even faster capture, 38%. So a lot of flip-flopping going on here. Now as we head into this, Lab used his grab to find Lum, so took that out. now Lum has his opportunity to do the same, try and find those key picks. Falling is probably going to have that chance to block it though, so it's going to be hard to find a lot of success out of it.
75% and climbing for the side of Lullaby as SK look to come back in and try and contest this point. They do have Transcendence, they do have Sound Barrier. Primal Rage is close and they will have Self-Destruct here now. Transcendence does get popped by Fallen on the side of Lullaby.
Oh my god, Fallen gets pooped off. That's Trans-negated. The only way to kill a Zenyatta. And now Renok goes in super aggressively too, trying to find all of the value from his Primal Rage.
Oh, and Primal Rage does get popped by Renok. They did lose Fallen, as you said. That was a huge boop, too, by Milo, who does have Sound Barrier. Self-Destruct comes out,
whoa,
and a triple kill!
From the depths, by the skin of their teeth, pulls that back with a clean 3K on D.Va. So now SK Rankings has to perfect the rest of this at 99% for Lullaby. They are sweating right now. They do have both defensive ultimates with the Transcendence and the Lucio Sound Barrier to keep them up. So not going to be as hard as it would be, but still a tough fight ahead.
Now 55% and climbing for the side of SK. This is looking to be pretty even here. 99% for Lullaby. Sound Barrier does come out from Milo. The ult economy is still in favor of SK as they are burning all their ultimates here. As Transcendence comes out, Rally comes out, they are close to another grab with 75% and climbing. And Jack's going to be on the way back as well with Primal Rage.
Rakuna's in a bad spot, actually separated. We're not going to be able to farm that Primal off, and now playing around the rest of the team. Karn actually eats Lum's grab. Now Jack is back, but he does not have a lot with him. It's going to be hard for SK Rankings to hold this as Renok destroying with that Primal Rage.
Another double kill out of Renok. Playing beautifully here on the Winston. Jack is in his Primal Wave as well, but he's going to back off. He doesn't have any poke with it, and he's going to go down. Oh, man. Mercio and Milo both with boop kills there as Transcendence comes out from Frag. And now we're winding down. It's 99 to 99 on the objective for both teams. Big D.Va Bomb coming out for the side of Karn, but he's going to go down and didn't find any value out of it. And now this looks like a dog-eat-dog world here. They're going to have to pop even more ultimates, but neither team has any. This is going to come down to the wire as Lullaby are looking to close this one out. And we have a Hammond on the field out of Lum now.
Yeah, I mean, these stall picks should try and get back to the point fast enough, but it might all just be in vain as they don't have any real spearhead to find these kills that they need, and it's going to elapse. So we'll go 2-0 in the favor of Lullaby on our first match here.
Wow, big turnaround from the first set we watched where it was 100-0. Now we're watching 99-99 in overtime. This is awesome. So, who was your player of that match there?
I mean, I might be biased because I'm a Maytech player myself, but Renok was doing so much value with that Winston. So definitely showing you how much space can be made, and then how you can capitalize off of that. I mean, you go back to Lighthouse, and it took SK Rankings almost a full point to fully recapture themselves.
Yeah, they had to use a lot of ultimates in most of those team fights where they did have them available, and sometimes they didn't even win those team fights. And that Lucio boop on the Transcendence was just awesome to watch. It's like one of those, oh, it feels good to just watch it. It's one of those savory moments as a spectator. But yeah, Renok, like you said, was just finding a lot of value out of those Primal Rages. We saw him get a double or maybe even a triple kill with that. And, I'm looking forward to seeing if he uses Winston here on this third one as well. So just kind of have to hop in and see.
Yeah, heading back to Hollywood here, so very similar to our last match. And again, Hollywood is one of those things on first point where you don't, you see the 3-3 a lot, but it's not uncommon for something unusual, Clown Fiesta-esque, as Monty likes to call it, on these first points. So maybe we see something unconventional coming out here as Lullaby going to be on our first attack.
Yeah, exactly. And, like we said, we're going to see Hollywood here again. Why do you think they're electing to go to Hollywood rather than...
Ready for battle.
Well, SK Rankins, it is one of their more favorite maps. They are more experienced on it. Not only that, but Hollywood is a complete tempo shift from a control point to where you have these hard fights where giant impactful swings come out. So as control might be more of a, you know, slanderous rhythm coming at you wildly and crazily, hybrid is more of a ballad where you need exact movement with these giant grandiose slashes to come through. So maybe SK Rankin's relying on more team play instead of individual player mechanics.
Yeah, so for the side of Lullaby, we do have the Sombra and the Hanzo. So, you know, as you said last set, Hanzo will take a couple peeks, see if he can get a nice little pick up, catch someone off guard. Will switch to the Zenyatta, and now the Sombra switching to the Zarya as they've scouted the team and they know what exactly they want to do.
Yeah, Reinhardt 3-3 mirror match coming out here, and a very aggressive play by Jack, coming off the high ground from the ropes to get a lot of ult charges coming on here. Renok falling very low, so a minor retreat having to come out just to push them through.
Yeah, he basically said, let's go, boys. I'm getting bubbled, and I'm bubbling someone. We're getting some damage. We're getting some charge. We got to win this fight here.
Yeah, and they're trying their best, but Lum is so high charged, burn them down. Jack finds Renok, gonna pay for his life, but without a main tank there, Lum's gonna have so much more space to push through.
And Lullaby looking to get a push. Nice little stun there on Infernal. During the team fight, no one was looking at him. Just free firing up there on the Ziva. Karn with the self-destruct, doesn't find anyone. Lab did find a double kill.
Yeah, Lab doing a lot of damage, actually already gonna have a grab, and they won't have time to take this point, but they do have time for everyone to respawn, so SK Rankins gets to have that aggressive hold, and it's really what they need, and they have everything they need to win this. They have Frag Transcendence to deny Lab's grab. Jack is coming up on that Shatter to get an entry kill, so this is a very winnable fight for SK Rankins.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a nice defense here. They are right on the gate, and as you said, they had that spawn advantage for the defense, not quite the defense on the capture itself. Nice grab comes out for the side of Lullaby. Transcendence gets popped. That self-destruct won't find anybody. Transcendence comes out for the side of Lullabies now. SK is going to have to find some value from their ultimates this game. Unlike last.
Done out of his Shatter there. So now as we head into this, a huge Graviton Surge, but Transcendence to match. So looks like Lullaby is going to continue on their train of terror on Hollywood right now.
And as they just basically put out the cleanup crew onto Milo and Frag, they are going to have a nice aggressive push here. And Jack trying to get some poke here, but he has two people staggered off this respawns. I don't know what he's doing. He's just giving ult charge away.
And Lab kind of has like a superposition of Graviton Surge where he constantly has one and constantly is using it. Already on 90% almost. This is this fight on Labs here, so he's gonna have another one, and there is nothing to stop it. Frag and Milo are not coming on the edge of their scrolls.
Big Diva Bomb from Karn doesn't find anything. SK gets shattered into 3, man. Now they're gonna No, they tried to come from behind, and Funny Hunter is just pushing this payload in for free.
I won't call that a C9 because Lullaby forced a fight off of there, but that was the most C9 looking non-C9 I've ever seen.
I'll tell you what, it was just like the Ilios. First, on that that lighthouse map, that first team fight, like you said, they dragged them into that room. When they were in the open, on the objective, here, they get pulled away by Lullaby once again. Lullaby is just like lullabying this team to sleep. They're mesmerizing them, telling them where they want to go.
Yeah, and that just shows you how much snowball potential you can get out of these 3-3 fights. You win them dominantly, you win the next one even more. And you have to wait until the other team has to use ultimate just to get out of their spawn. Jack finding a Shatter finds Karn, but he's too far away for any real follow-up. So now, Lullaby striking back in full force. Oh my god, how did Infernal do that? He just found Mercedes out of nowhere.
I think Mercio was trying to peek through one of the side doorways, because the Rhine Shield was covering the entire time. Here comes a grab bomb. He's not going to pull anybody in. Lum not getting much value out of these grabs. Big grab by the side of Lullaby. They are able to find Jack, Frag, and Lum. And Lullaby looking to push this all the way in. They are going to have an advantage here.
Yeah, a very scrappy fight there coming in the favor of Lullaby. And heading on to this now, look, Ultimate Economy looking very bare for SK. And Renok does have that shatter to maybe stop this fight before it can even start.
They do have Karns with the self-destruct as well. Here comes the self-destruct right in the backside near the RV. It's not going to find anyone, but Infernal does kill Fallen with his gun. And now this fight getting pretty close to pushing this all the way in. They just got Rally on the side of SK. They're going to use that. They have Earth Shatter as well. And it looks like they're going to hold here.
Yeah, going to, and you know, talked about how bare their old economy looked, and now they are looking very well. Because not only did they win that fight, but they won it using just the rally, and Renok and Karn both popped their very long charging take ultimates. So now, 2.5 minutes, while it does on paper look like a long time, they have almost 2 guaranteed fights off the Ultra Economy alone.
Yeah, they're doing a great job that fight, getting value off of their ults. You know, this entire time they haven't been doing that big.
My God,
Earth Shatter comes out with the Fire Strike, and they're able to take down 3, 4, 5 members. Lab is the last man standing. He's backing up, and Frag is going to push this payload back as yet again SK is able to hold.
Very good fight, and that's an aggressive grab on the Lum. They decide to take the grab to get the injury kill. No Zarya, no damage. I like the aggression from Lullaby here. Pushing up in full force. They did pop Trance, stay alive, but doesn't matter. Infernal's mech's already gone.
Oh, and this looks like it could be trouble for the side of SK. About 2 minutes remaining. Big Earth Shatter from Rennick. Once again, he is able to get the pin onto their Rhine. Now Sound Barrier coming out from Milo on the side of SK. Rennick is just hammering his way through the team.
So much centralized damage coming from Lullaby here. And now they're popping Rally with really no one on the card just to get that extra speed boost. Milo, however, is denying that card progress. So despite them winning this fight so aggressively, the card hasn't been pushing. And SK has a slight chance to get some stall onto this card, deny that time bank.
Oh, and now we do see Lum switch onto the Hammond from the Zarya. Big grab coming out from the side of SK, but will it be enough? No! There's a self-destruct and a boot back from Karn comes in to push this payload all the way in.
And I want to talk about that grab that opened up that fight. I mean, just beautiful play. Lum got aggressive trying to farm another grab, and Lullaby elected, okay, well, we're going to solo grab you. Now, all of your team's damage is gone. We win this next team fight, and in those stagger kills, we haven't lost anybody because your team has no damage. So, very good play there. Zarya's will often hold the grab to look for that big play. But sometimes finding one kill can get you that little space you need to snowball the rest of the fight, and just beautiful play there from Lullaby.
Exactly. I like that aggression, as you said, from Lum, but same thing coming out of Lab, who got that grab onto them.
Yeah, hubris can be a killer. Sometimes you get a bit too greedy, get a bit too thirsty, try and get that extra 10-20% on that grab before the fight even starts, and it didn't pay off. So now, as we see SK gonna be on their attack, putting up an okay defense. 1:20 is not a gigantic time bank to work with. It only gives you one real fight, so hopefully they can find better success on this attacking phase here.
Exactly. And just going back to that's the big aggressive play onto the Zarya before that round ended one more time. I think it was all about the stagger. You know, you can use that grab if you get that stagger, because that's a huge stagger right there. The rest of the team wasn't even out of spawn yet. That's when they really caught the aggression. So look in here, we do have an Ana. That is the first time we'll see that for us today.
Yeah, using that on instead of the Zen, that is the normal trade-off. And using this Ana, what that tells me is that they want these fights to be over quickly. Use that burst healing that Ana provides and that anti-nade to find someone focusing down and win those fights. The longer these fights go on, the scrappier they get. SK is going to have the natural advantage. Having that Discord to provide consistent damage upgrade and trying to push through here, not going to find much success going through monitors.
Oh, and Renok is just denying them, as they're going to go up to the high ground now and meet Renok at the door, and he is ready. He is 38%, a little slow on the Earth Shatter charge.
He hasn't really had much to swing into now because they're playing so weary of this Zarya that there hasn't been much melee room for him. Lum, however, in a weird position, all alone on that cafe, finding a lot of damage, and a huge triple nade onto Jack, and Lab gonna fall in their center, so not a lot of follow-up.
Big Earth Shatter out from Renok. sorry, the stun. Not really happy. I want to see Rennek hit some more Earth Shatters as he gets nano boosted here. He is 84% charged.
And just chasing Lum right into their spawn. Yeah. Now with that, they don't have that nano to push in aggressively, so Renok has to make a big play with this Shatter. Otherwise, Thrag's Transcendence is going to provide so much support and so much like sustain that naturally speaking, SK is going to have the edge after this fight elapses.
Bunny Hunter does have the self-destruct, and he is waiting in the corner there. Oh, and they know he's there. They're going to push into him. Reinhardt has his back to him. The nade did hit from Ana, so they are. Here comes the Graviton Surge from... Oh, and a big play. Doesn't find anyone. A sound barrier was popped, and now Bunny Hunter hits the rally. Big grenade coming in from the Ana. Able to find... Oh, a nice sleep there as well. And now they're fighting in this small room here. Lots of damage coming out from the side of Lullaby, as it's just going to be D.Va left alone.
And
out of
the
mech.
biggest thing out of that fight was that Lum uses Graviton Surge, and without that Ana, you don't have a Zen to transit, so you're so vulnerable to that. But winning that fight with the Grav means you're going to be in a good position for this. And Infernal getting staggered, that's a lot of time gone, and Lum has enough time to get that last 50%, but he's only going to have one shot at it. If that Grav doesn't find its value, it's going to be so hard for SK to actually find any value on this point.
Infernal came back and has already been demech'd. He gets his mech back right away with a couple of headshots onto the high ground there. Lullaby looks to hold this. They have a little bit over a minute left to go. Ult economy about the same. Earth Shatter comes in, blocked by Renok. A great play by him. And Fallen now has Nano available. Transcendence gets popped. Infernal is close to this D.Va bomb, but I don't think it'll be enough time.
Nano Renok just going ham, taking forward. Now a Graviton Surge bomb combination available for Lullaby here, pushing into that.
There he comes out, here comes the Graviton, and here comes the self-destruct. Won't find anybody. No! And now a self-destruct from the side of Karn on Lullaby. It does find one on the Lum, man. Having a pretty rough day here.
And as this wipe comes through, 30 seconds left on the clock, and all of the pressure is on Jack right now. This Shatter needs to be massive, and I'm not talking like huge, I mean like 6 people, because without it, there's almost no entry for SK.
Okay, we're gonna see the Lucio here for the speed boost. We're gonna see Jack because he has that Earth Shatter available. You know, D.Va could still be in there. I don't see any switches coming out, which is have a to make it there in time, as they did, and now this will be the last fight of the round. They do have Earth Shatter on
Jack
both
got
sides.
stunned out of it though. Renok responds and finds 2 of his own, and this fight not looking good if you're SK. Lullaby putting their opponent to sleep, taking that swift 2-0 in the series.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it was. Lullaby takes the win here, 2-0, as they will move on to round 3.
Right, round 3 going to be coming up as we watch Jack with this Reinhardt play of the game. And it will be on this attack. This was a very clean Shatter too. You know, even though Jack's team didn't win, Jack definitely showing a lot of star play there.
Exactly. Jack did play very well, but his counterpart, Renok, on the Reinhardt, nice shatters from him. But you got to give it to the Brigade player, able to stun Jack out of that Earth Shatter and potentially help them win that fight.
All right, and with that, another clean 2-0. All right, and we'll be right back as we come back with some more Overwatch. Until then, see you soon.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Overwatch tournament brought to you by Esports. My name is Blue, I'm here with Setka as well, and this is the next matchup, Redacted versus Magneterra. Now this is a round 3 matchup, so the map pool will change. We will be seeing Busan being played first, and then the loser of that will pick between Blizzard World and Junkertown. But until then, let's talk a little Busan with Setka.
Yeah, Busan is the newest control map in Overwatch, and it has a lot of unique definitions. We've never seen high ground like we see here on downtown on a control map, though. You normally don't often see that being played around. However, because this map is so wide open, you do see some Widowmaker action, some Pharah action. So hopefully we get to see some of that heading into here.
And what makes Busan a little interesting is that unlike other control maps, there's only 2 different areas, being downtown and sanctuary. You know, like an Ilios or a Lijiang Tower, there's 3 different areas. With Busan, there's only 2.
I think you did your math there wrong, Blue, because Mecha Base is sadly a map in this game.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about Mecha Bay.
It's alright. I wish I could forget about Mecha Base, but
Hey, newest map means there will be a little learning curve there. And as we see our teams getting ready here, what do you look forward to seeing out of these 2 teams?
well, we do see a Mora on Carfixer for the side of Redacted, and actually running a Sombra Goats with this Mora. Interesting composition, and 2 Sombras actually. Oh, looks like Slushy was just going to switch. So, seeing that dive 3-3, Magnetera switches over to the Reinhardt 3-3, and then in response, Redacted switching back to the Reinhardt 3-3 here. So, little bit of bring around the rosy coming out of these spawns.
Okay, and one thing I did notice here in our first 3 sets, especially this one early on, they have that Sombra who comes out and does the scout. It's usually the Zarya. Is there a reason for that, Secta?
Well, I mean, Zarya is a character that you're not going to get much natural ult charge out of, and once the fight starts, you're really going to have it. So, pushing into that though, Magnetera gets the burst unlocked, so this long burst fight with no ultimate is going to be building percentage for Magnetera this entire side, and Dumpback falling early, so Magnetera might be taking this very fast.
Oh yeah, and there we see a Maniac Man taking the high ground there. And it looks like Magnetera is going to take the first one. You were talking a little bit about Magnetera. Started this set, you know, they were losing a couple scrims. You were a little surprised they were able to beat Damage Inc. the round before here, especially in a 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, I don't know if Magnetera and Magnaventus are sister teams, but Gowns are finding a nice 3-man shatter pushing in here. So Magnetera finding some nice aggression.
Exactly, nice. Was that a 3-man? I believe it was a 3-man shatter out of Garms. They're able to find some value and clean up the kills as well with nice follow damage. Here, Maniac Man takes the high ground on this again. And Magnetera, 50% and climbing on the objective. And it looks like Redacted is going to push right down the middle once again. I think it'll be a little bit better if they maybe go towards that left.
Yeah, Nico using this rally, so the Reinhardt's going to have the natural advantage. Another one coming out, and Redacted has a lot of ultimates to use.
Shatter, big Earth Shatter, doesn't really hit anyone. Nice. Out of Maniac Man, able to find Nox. Destruct. Transcendence does get popped from the side of Iron Crit and Veros. Iron Crit still has that sound barrier. Magnetera still able to take this team fight here pretty single-handedly.
Now as we come on to 90%, this is last fight territory for Redacted, and they haven't really had a chance to fully push together. That last fight was their best opportunity. They will have a sound barrier and a deep bomb to get entry, so it's not all lost, but it's going to be very hard.
They do pop sound barrier, but a big self-destruct coming out from the side of Kuya, and now Kuya on the objective with Nox, and they're looking to capture this point here. Just those 2 on the point as the rest of their team is getting zoned out by Garms alone with his shield up, and it looks like Kuya is going to lose their mech. They do swap the point as well, but it looks like it's going to go right back. Rally gets popped. Graviton gets popped as well to pull in Dembeck as he goes down. Grab does find Max Demio as well. Nox goes down. Magnetera able to find objective number 1 here.
And I really want to highlight the discipline coming out of Magnetera. So what you saw in that last fight was a back cap in the traditional sense, but Magnetera gave them that point. They weren't fighting there. They decided, okay, you want to send 2 people behind us to capture the point? We'll fight this 6v4, wipe you, and then kill the people on the point. So that shows a lot of discipline as a team to know that we can let them flip this. We don't have to worry about the point because we can win this fight and then the round will be over. You know, other times you'll see teams scramble to get complete control of that point and give up advantages like that. But Magnetera playing it safe on the trigger, just really good team play from them. And now we head over to Sanctuary, the giant drum, and I believe the smallest control point throughout all of them. And
I believe Slushy is calling for a pause here as they're having some problems on the side of Magnetera. So we will be pausing here for a quick moment. And, you know, as we're in this pause here, taking a quick little timeout here for the side of Magnetera, I want to really highlight Redacted's play in that first objective. You know, you were talking about how Magnetera had that great discipline to say, hey, we're about 91, 92% on this objective. Let it flip. Let's win this team fight, and then let's take the objective back. They're going to be dead. They're going to be respawning. We'll win this round single-handedly just off of that. But I want to talk about Redacted. Their game plan pretty much did not change the entire time. They went straight down the middle every single time. Now, as I've said before, I'm not too familiar with Busan as of right now. Of course, I forgot about Mecha Base, so that should tell you. Is there a little, a little bit change of strategy where they should go off the flank side there?
Well, you want to talk about change of strategy in this map, Gardens or Sanctuary. I forget the name of it, but
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. I highlighted how small that objective point is, and because of that, 3-3 is not the most favorable composition here, actually. You oftentimes see weird things like the Pharah going to head back into this, and we do see it. Redacted running a quad DPS with the Pharmacy and the Wrecking Ball to complete control of that, and Magnetera rushing back to spawn, going to the Winston 3-3 in order to play not only the point, but play against other people.
Oh, yes. I like this. I like this quad DPS. I want to see what they can do with it. And, when we do see quad DPS, we usually see that single take Hammond. Do a lot with that, especially on a control point. Drop that minefield and just get a lot of damage off. A lot of aerial denial as well, as Petal is able to find a kill onto Garms here with the Widow. Hammond and Max Dimension able to find some kills as well. And Petal absolutely headshotting the side of Magnetera. And now D.Va's been demeched. Trying to go after this Mercy, but Hammond is just rolling over her with this ball here.
Yeah, it's always sad to watch a D.Va get demeched. And an interesting thing we saw is that Dimbrex just finding Sombra out of nowhere. But normally when a team runs 3-3, they play the point more, because with only one tank, it's hard to play the point with this composition that Redacted is running. But Redacted actually manages to get the first capture. So now not only did they win that fight, but they have their time bank percentage-wise is going up huge. They're already on 40%. This second fight's just now getting underway. Slushy has that EMP though, so this is a really key fight that Redacted almost has to win.
Oh, and big coalescence coming out for the side of Heroes on Magnet. They look to try and take this point back. Petal still pumping some shots off with the Widowmaker. Not finding much kills here, but you gotta give it to Nox. Nox is solo healing for the side of Magnetera. He does have a lot of maneuverability, able to fly to each of his teammates, and he's gotta do it quite often, and sometimes through the middle of team fights here.
Yeah, and speaking of the middle of team fights, all these snipers, 3 of them to be exact, finding so many headshots, but the point was over to Magnetera. And again, they have tanks. They can put their beefy bodies on the point and stay alive much longer. So despite this fight being lost a long time ago, they managed to flip the point and gonna get 25% on here.
Oh yes, and they are able to regain the objective here. So a little bit of the same play we saw in the first round. Hey, let this point flip. Let's get the kills we need, win this team fight, and take it back. And this Pharah being played here by Car Fixer. He's not looking like he's fixing cars right now. He looks like he's dropping some missiles on, and a huge one there. As Hammond looks to clean up from the backside. Garms does find a kill on the Dembeck. Dragon Strike gets thrown out by Max Dimension. Does find a kill on Viros. Nox able to bring back Dembeck off the revive here. Max Dimension does go down to a boop from Lucio as well. And now it looks as if Magnetera is going to take control of this point.
Yeah, point being flipped over, but this fight's still not over yet. Kuya gonna get hacked, and we see Garms pushing really aggressively here, so they might finally be able to take a defensive hold, but Max Dimension's back on the Doomfist. And as I say that, dead instantly, so finally Magnetera has some breathing room. They not only won the fight, flipped the point, and now they have time to let it build in these passive assignments. And Slushy on that Sombra has the EMP to help them push into this. As Redacted, switching over to that Reinhardt 3-3, has 50% to build the ultimates required, and with a Sombra EMP, may not have the most success.
Yeah, so ult economy will be in favor of Magnetera here. 95% and climbing This could be the last team fight if Redacted is able to take this. It does go to overtime here. Ultimates are being popped, but they're all from the side of Magnetera. As Garms and Maniac Man are able to find kills, V-Rose comes in, picking up the kill on Nox. And now the point has been flipped again. I think that was the perfect time for them to change up their hero composition there. They're saying, hey, you know, they're going to have ultimates. We can force them to use them. They don't have that much time on the objective. You know, we just have to capture it one more time to win this.
And the only ultimate online right now is Nico with that rally. And with no other ultimates, you pop rally and Garm can be so aggressive here that he's almost guaranteed to get a shower off this. And you look how much Redacted has to fall back because they know how much potential it has.
Exactly, and they do have Maniac Man with the self-destruct if they need it. And it looks like they're going to be focusing on the point here. Self-destruct does come out, gets caught inside the there, doesn't find much value. And now Magnetera's getting pushed back. Big Earth Shatter from Garms. 3 go down there. And this looks like a full team wipe for the side of Magnetera. And they come back from behind, able to take this objective here and win out the set, or I'm sorry, the first game here.
You know, a little help of a shatter, probably going to be the play of the game here for Garmig.
Big play by Garms. Play of the game was actually the 3-man shatter he had on objective point before that as well.
Yeah, Garms, as that card shows, 8 Earth Shatter kills, 9 stuns. And while that might not look like a lot, you know, it's so hard to find those big shatters in that Reinhardt 3-3 mirror matchup because there's so much to block it. You have Reinhardt bubbles, you have Divas who can fly out of the way, Zarya bubbles. So getting 9 stuns and 2 control point mounts is really impressive.
Yeah, so, you know, it was 9 Earth Shatter stuns, and 8 of those were kills. So he's finding a ton of value. And we're going to go into game 2 here, which will be on Junkertown. So Magnetera looking to close this one out as Redacted look to extend this to one more game.
Yeah, and again, talk about that card there. 9 stuns and 8 kills shows you how much these teams, how much Magnetera is playing around Garms. That's insane amount of efficiency. You'll see Reinhardt's like Gesture or like Sato find 20, 30 Earth Shatter stuns and only get 5, 6 kills out of it. So a lot of good follow-up coming on these teams. Now we had the Junkertown, which one of the longest maps in the game and so wide open that we see a lot of snipers, and Redacted showing us that they can play the snipers, might try and run some of their own, though, as I say that, looks like they're going to elect to run the Reinhardt 3-3 on this defense, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I would have liked to see some snipers come out, maybe Petal on that. Widowmaker, once again, was looking pretty good there at the start of last round of Busan, but, of course, we're not going to see that. We are going to see him on the Zarya. And for the other side, it's going to be kind of a mirror. They do have a Winston instead of a Ryan here, so it'll be interesting to see how Magnetera comes out aggressive in this first one here with the Diva Winston.
Yeah, that Winston-Reinhardt dynamic usually revolves on the Winston trying to build Primal Rage in that first fight, use that to displace the rest of the team, and find kills off of that. So we're probably going to see some very aggressive play out of Magnetera here.
And here we go. They look to hold this high ground right after they rotated from inside the building on the right side.
Yeah, Garm sees that Reinhardt and switches right back to it himself. You really don't want to fight that in this scenario because it's so close. And, you know, with how close Redact is playing as well, don't blame them actually trying to camp in this spawn.
Yeah, they're trying to pull the San Francisco Shock out right here with the spawn camp. Doesn't look like it's going so well. They look to back up for a little defense here. They're going to hold this second bridge area.
Gonna find Kaya's mech in this scenario. It's gonna be so hard to charge that mech that might as well be a kill, as it's gonna take the same amount of time as with the charge mech as it would to walk back. And Garms, somehow, despite switching late, already has a shatter online. So I'm really hoping we see a nice, good, juicy shatter out of Garms.
Yeah, Garms is putting in a lot of work here, and he's getting a lot of value. Big Graviton coming out, but Transcendence gets popped for the side of Redacted, and they're not going to find much value. And now, Sound Barrier getting popped from Redacted as well. They're using a lot of ults here. Rally comes out as well. Sound barrier comes out for the side of...
Oh, that's 4 people on
Oh,
the ground from Dimbark, and find Garms himself. Only 1 kill, but it doesn't matter because at the main tank, there's so much open damage that Redact is going to have a much easier time cleaning up this fight.
Yeah, and Maniac Man's just going to jump off the point here. And Iron Kid tried to get there as well. He does go down fairly balanced with Maniac Man, so not too much of a stagger there with Lucio being the last person coming back.
Still though, if you are Magnetera, you're fine with that push because you pushed it over that bridge. So now there's not a really hard choke for them to push through. You get to go a little bit to an easier position where the defense isn't so favored. And they have that Graviton Surge bomb combination, the Figure Bang as it is called, to try and open this up. Rally being popped to try and get some space.
Nice Graviton, but Car Fixer with another Transcendence, he's ready for it. Self-destruct from Kuya does find one on a Maniac Man. Kuya loses their life in right after. Oh, and a big Fire Strike there. Big Earth Shatter, but it gets countered by the Transcendence and the Gravitron come out.
Yeah, playing on this lower lip here, don't really see that. It's coming into Magnetera's favor. Now, Maniac Man is back. Either had to fight this at a numbers disadvantage. Garms knows this. Playing very aggressive onto his counterpart, and Denmark wants to get him down, but a nice bubble keeping him up. Not for long, though, as Magnetera is going to wipe the rest of this capture at point A.
And that's good recognition there from Maniac Man. He sees everyone fighting on that lower lip. Like you said, not very, not a lot of people you see doing that. So Maniac Man, good communication, good recognition there from him on the side of Magnetera. Says, hey, I'm just going to sit on the payload, guys. We can either push it in or we can force them to fight on this payload. Did have the numbers advantage as well. Now we come into this roadway here inside Junkertown itself.
Yeah, and now the numbers advantage and the ultimate advantage coming into this next fight. Garm's going to have another shatter. Narcs and Car Fixer have their 2 defensive ultimates to try and keep them up, as Slushy also rounding up to that grab. So it's going to be a very defensive fight here for Redacted.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of great main tank play here today. We saw it out of Rena, saw it out of Romanov, and now we're seeing it from Garms as well. And we can't discredit Dembek. He's getting some nice Earth Shatters off as well.
Garms gets stunned out of his shatter, and Kuya eats the grab, so all that advantage I hyped up completely gone in half a second. Amazing play there from Redacted.
Oh, but Graviton does come out for the side of Redacted, and they're able to find one onto Garms, so don't have a main tank. And this could be a nice defensive hold out of Redacted. As the rest of Magnetera, they look to keep fighting this, but they're going to have to back up here soon. As V-Rose falls definitely low, he does get regenerated. And it looks like Redacted is going to hold this for the time being. Just about 2 minutes remaining here in this push.
And now as we push into this, Slushy, somehow despite having his grab in last fight, already coming up on another one. That bomb from Kuya not going to find
look at Garms. He's already at 100%. He's got another Earth Shatter ready. He just came back from spawn, and he was just stunned out of his last one. Getting so much value, so much ult charge here. Now he's going to look for a good Earth Shatter. Maybe not right now, as now that I realize they're going to win this team fight without expending too many ultimates at all.
I don't know how you do that as a Reinhardt-Zarya combination. Get both your ultimates taken away from you, stunned, eaten, and then come back to the next fight with them. Like, that's just insane efficiency.
Garms had 7% ult charge when he died, and by the time he came back, he was already at 83%. It was just insane. Now a nice Graviton getting pulled out by Redacted, but it pulls Maniac Man in, but he's behind the scrapyard sign, so he's not going to have any damage put on him. Come out for the side of Magnetera.
Yeah, having to play around that wall, that's where the grab side they're going to play. A beat coming out, gonna put this in the edge of Magnetera. They have the sustain, they have the damage, and the kills come through. The cart is passed through. Heading on to point C now. Petal, run for your life.
Oh, Garms just used this Earth Shatter again, and he's at 72%. This man is charging his ult as fast as probably 2 people on Redacted combined.
Yeah, I mean, like, that is just inhuman efficiency coming out of these. Finding 3 shatters in 3 fights, one of which got stunned, unheard of. Now as we push into this, Denmark nowhere near his shatter. Petal might be able to farm that grab if they can get, some Garms level efficiency on here. This card already halfway through point C. We had through 2 minutes still left in this time bank.
Yeah, you were talking about, players in the OWL getting 10 to 15 shatters a game. It looks like Garms is calling your bluff here. He's trying to do the same. Dembeck still on this high ground, not getting either, as he is a melee champion with Reinhardt. Now he looks to be out there. Big sound barrier coming out from Redacted. And now Transcendence gets popped from V-Rose. They do have Maniac Man with the self-destruct. They can try and push something here. It looks like they're just going to back up and regroup as they lost Garms.
And so we talk about how Garms can charge these shatters so fast, but we see two different styles of Reinhardt. Garms plays the more aggressive, wild style, throwing out these shatters whenever. But Denmark plays a bit more with this team, a bit more defensive, not charging them as fast, but when he gets those shatters, he's oftentimes finding more stuns out of them. So two different styles of play, clashing right now. A big grab, that is 6 people from Slushy there.
Oh, the Reinhardt shield blocked it, but Nox was able to boop them up and above. They did find one on the Nico, and now Kuya finds one. As we look to head into this team fight with about 40 seconds remaining. Magneterra trying to get this thing all the way in as they lead this series 1-0.
And Garms, unsurprisingly has another shatter, so it's gonna be 4 for 4 on these shatter team fight ratios. Pushing into this, no ults online except for Garms coming up, so if he can find even one stun with this, that could be the window that Magnementus needs to find that edge.
Yeah, Garms is absolutely cracked on the G Fuel right now. Big Earth Shatter coming out. They get PETA and they get one other. They're able to take down Max Dimension. That was the Brigitte. Transcendence did come out. And now Nico pops the rally. They will have SBBO Sound Barrier and Card Fixer both popping their ultimates as well. Overtime is underway. This has been a long push, and now they're looking to finish it off. V-Rose does have the Transcendence available. Graviton does come in. Transcendence comes out from V-Rose. That's his second one in under a minute as well. Garms, 80% in climbing, almost has another Earth Shatter here in overtime.
And doing so much, the overtime fights can be chaotic and loud for that charge, but the way React's playing, the card hasn't pushed at all. Nox finally falling. We see Denmark coming back on the Hammond. He's trying to get as much stall as he can. Not going to really find a lot, though.
This thing's inching in. Another one on a pedal and Kuya. The Earth Shatter coming in. Garms self-destruct from the side of Maniac Man, and that is push. Round 1 is complete. Magneterra, in such a long overtime, is able to successfully push this payload all the way in. And now it's up to Redacted to do just the same. Otherwise, they're heading to the double elimination side of the bracket.
And, I talked about, how Garms and Denmark have two different styles of Reinhardts, but it's really these cultures of these teams, because Magneterra's been playing these chaotic, crazy fights, relying on the individual play. They stack their support ultimates there. The #1 sin of GOATs. You play the Transcendence and the Lucio Sound Barrier at the same time. You're oftentimes not as the least favorable thing you want to do, but they do it. Guess what? Everyone's alive long enough. Garms comes back. Of course, he has another shatter. Finds 3 with it. That chaotic, scrappy fights are coming in those favors, though. An overtime push on Junkertown. So Redacted has a chance to breathe life into this series.
Yeah, and now I'm looking to see, just like at the beginning of last round, I want to see if anybody here on Magneterra will try to pull out a snipe. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. They are going to go with the 3-3 grind composition here. And they do have a Sombra being played by Kuya. This could be the scout, as we always say, but hey, on this map, it could be very, very niche and viable here to try and break this early zone.
I don't know if this is a scout, because normally you see either the Reinhardt or the Zarya do it, but it's Kuya who was playing that Diva on here. Not only that, but they were running a Mora for a little bit, switch off of that, so they might be trying to do a Sombra Goats defense. Nope, okay, just play with my heart like that. But this positioning on this offense from Magneterra here, playing around here.
I would have liked to see it. A nice, oh man, Magneterra with the defensive hold coming from behind. I don't think Redacted was ready for that one.
Garms, however, falling very low. Nico gonna fall, so you blink and you miss this team fight right now. All these kills going swiftly to Redacted.
Oh, and Dembeck picks up another double kill there. And Kuya and Max Dimension cleaning up. Max Dimension with a double kill on the Brigitte.
So now, because that team fight was so one-sided, there is so much space here for Redacted to get there. Let's kind of push the card. I would like to see them push up a bit more like they're doing now. Maybe, take a super aggressive positioning and then fall back later where you want the cart to be at, managing to push past that bridge of the choke. So now they get to fight in a position that favors them a lot more, and really not where Magnetera want to fight this.
Oh, that was a nice stomach coming out from Nico there. They do pop Transcendence. They do pop Rally for the side of Redacted. Petal does have a grab. They have Transcendence and a D.Va mech bomb as well. So this could be interesting for the side of Redacted. Trying to get this push in, but it doesn't look like they need it, as they're going to full team kill once again. Winning both of these team fights so dominantly.
So clean, and again, that defensive style paying in their favor. They're playing back and waiting for Magnetera to make a mistake and capitalizing on it, and doing it so well that they're going to have 5 minutes on this attack. Denmark, however, falls early, and Magnetera, of course, they're going to push forward. When aren't they? So that 5 minutes is going to be greatly reduced as they have to fight just to get back to the cart.
Yeah, and they did get the first checkpoint, so they do have a lot of time in the bank, like you said, and they don't have too far to go to the next point. Let's see how they go into this small confined roadway here. Magnetera was able to get through it pretty cleanly after that first or second team fight. Now the high ground being controlled by Magnetera, as Viros is ready to pop that Transcendence when needed. Nice Earth Shatter from the side of Garms, and a nice return Earth Shatter from Dembek as the D.Va bomb goes through. Doesn't find anyone. Dembek falls to Garms now. Transcendence does get popped from Viros. You know, we talk about Garms getting a lot of those as... Oh, a nice grab coming through as Maniac Man Viros able to pick up some kills. You know, like I was saying, we talk about Garms getting a ton of Earth Shatters here, but we got to give it to Viros. He is getting a ton of these Transcendence off. Now, it does charge faster normally, but still getting about 8 or 10 of them so far.
And, you know, that was a very ult-heavy fight. I believe almost 12 ults invested into there. But Max, Dimension, and Cardfixer still have the rally and the trance themselves. Garms, an aggressive shatter out of spawn, finds 3. Okay, then Garms. They had families, but it's whatever. A very fast team wipe. So that time bank of 5 minutes already dwindled down. Gonna be 3 before Redacted really get a chance to get this next attack.
Listen, you got to be careful when you go into small little hallways like that when someone's Reinhardt's going to have an Earth Shatter ready, especially when it's Garms charging so many of them. Now we look to come back to this initial team fight. Magnetera still on the high ground. You know, Redacted hasn't elected to, except for the one time they got masked by the Earth Shatter. And now they're looking to try to find an advantage. No kills coming out of either side here. Graviton getting pulled, and a Transcendence getting popped from both sides now. Oh my, Maniac Man! You are a maniac! The triple kill with the D.Va bomb there. And he did able to de-mech the D.Va on the other side, being played by Kuya as well, as the rest of the team cleans that up.
In the biz, they call that a bigger bang combination, the Graviton Surge, D.Va self-destruct, and it is plays like that where the D.Va bomb falls directly into the grab, where you see why it's called the bigger bang, because it literally simulates the start of the universe. A gigantic swipe coming in, and now 2 minutes gone. 3 minutes have elapsed for Redacted, and they've only pushed the cart 10 meters.
Yeah, and now Rally gets popped the side of Magnetera. So they will have a little bit of a boost going into this next team fight. They're trying to end this one quick. Graviton pulls in 5 people. They don't have Transcendence. They're able to find an Iron Clit who did have his sound barrier. They didn't elect to use it. They are still in this team fight. D.Va bomb goes all the way on top of the bridge. Doesn't find any value out of that from Kuya. And now Magnetera looking to try and stall this fight out. Maniac Man's the only one left here. He's going to get demeched. And now we see with 1.5 minutes to go, Redacted finds some value on those ultimates. And they're
Redacted
push this in.
Finally winning a fight, and they seem to play better when you have to push into them. Now they have to play in a team, so hopefully they can use that to their advantage and get this cart very fast here, as Magnetera not wasting any time getting right back into the fray.
So now they have Transcendence. It does come out. But meanwhile, on the other side, Petal getting a lot of ult charge here. Earth Shatter goes down. They are able, but
he finds Garms before the beat comes off. That's huge. There's no maintain there to block that. Grab coming out. Transfer to block it, but it can't block all of the D.Va bomb. Team are gone. No Reinhardt left in the field for both these teams.
Yeah, and a big Graviton, another one out of the side of Petal. And they're going to be able to find 2 kills on the Slushy and Iron Kit. Kuya gets D-Macked and killed by the side of V-Rose, and Nox able to pick one off of Nico. V-Rose goes down as well. Petal charging the ult pretty fast. Dembeck right behind. They do have a sound barrier. And now Maniac Man looks like he's going to fall, and they're going to grab this second point here.
2 minutes to push through the entirety of C, while not unheard of, is very hard to do, because not only is point 3 a very long point, but there's so many defined places for the defense to get a great position to fight you into. So, you know, I like what Red is doing here. They're playing in the aggressive positionings. Take as much space as you can with what you have, and deny as much I am worrying myself now. Garms, however, has another shatter, like always, going into this defense.
Yeah, and Dembeck, or the whole team of Redacted, playing that high ground just like they did on defense, didn't really work out as much as they would have hoped. Here comes a big D.Va bomb, doesn't find anything. Transcendence gets popped from, and they're gonna just heal everyone up. But meanwhile, Nox and Carfixer able to pop their ultimates. Carfixer's gonna have Transcendence for this next fight if he's gonna need it, and he is gonna pop it to keep the forget. And Dembeck alive. Max Dimensional does have Rally. Big Graviton Surge getting pulled out. They're gonna find Kuya. Not much left after that. And now Garms and Dembeck both go down, so both teams without a main tank. No Ryan Shield to block that. Doesn't find any value still. And, you know, Redacted is still hanging on in this fight, despite all the ultimates coming out from both sides.
Yeah, and they're actually going to win this fight by the hairs. So not only did they win that fight to give them more time to come through, but that allowed them to charge ultimates of their own. They have those big 2 key ultimates, the Earth Shatter and the Graviton Surge, to push into this. You know, V-Rose and Iron Crit, however, had their defensive ultimates to block it. So this is going to come down to who can get the more value out of their ultimates.
Yeah, they're pushing this pretty fast at this point in time. They do get stopped here as the contest comes out from Magnetera. They do pop Rally.
Gets stunned out of his Earth Shatter now. And
Big
grab's gonna. Oh, it's a bit of a miss from Petal. Not gonna find what he wants out of that grab. So V-Rose is going to try to aggressively, no longer having to worry about that.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time Petal has missed one. Carfixer though, sound barrier getting popped on the side of Magnetera, and now this looks to come down. It is in overtime. They have the way in. Otherwise, they're going to the losers bracket. Oh, and Slushy and Nico able to find kills on the Dembeck and Max Dimensional, but on the side of Redacted, they're able to find a double kill, a triple kill. Nox is able to find some value here. They don't have any ultimates though. Rally is popped on the side of Magnetera. Oh, and Hammond comes out from Max Dimensional to get back in time, and now the payload's starting to move again.
Some bloodthirsty support finding 5 kills out of this fight. Grab coming out. Garm's now alone. Nox finds his 6th of this fight. Pushing in now. It's just the respawns coming in. Back to
Nox the boop away, and he is going to do it, and they're going to push it into overtime. So both teams pushing these payloads all the way in overtime. Such a long payload push, and both teams were able to do it. So we all tied up 3-3 with 1 minute on the clock for both sides.
Can we just talk about real quick how Nox and Carfixer, as 2 off supports, got 7 kills combined out of 1 fight, completely saving this for the side of Redacted.
I mean, if you can play Zenyatta and you can aim pretty well, you can do some devastating things. And Lucio, on the other hand, you're fast. You have so much maneuverability and so much speed. If you aren't hitting the heals, you know, you could just pretty much do whatever you want. If the 2 of them are just communicating pretty well together, calling out some targets, hey, if the rest of your team can't get the kills, someone's got to do what they got to do.
Yeah, amazing clutch there. And now as we head on to this, a minute for each team. And we saw 2 very aggressive, you know, like almost spawn camping defenses come out from both sides on regular time bank. So I don't see a reason why we wouldn't see it again. Because if you can win that fight, you know, 0 meters pushed on that cart, and now your offense looks much easier.
If we go off of their first push, their first push, I think Redacted would have pushed it farther in the 1 minute, because they were able to team wipe faster. But they're on defense right here, and we're going to look to see how well Magnetera can do here in overtime. Remember, if Magnetera is able to win this, the game will be paused. And you know, whoever takes this victory, if it is Magnetera, then they're going to move on to the next round as Redacted will move to the losers bracket. And if Redacted is able to, win this one out, we're going to go to a third map, and they're going to survive another game. What would you like to see out of Redacted here on the defense as compared to what you would like to see on Magneterra's offense?
Yeah, I mean, Redacted really needs to play aggressively here. They've been a defensive style team, but if they can win one good fight, not only do they win the fight, stall the cart progress, but they get the ultimate advantage pushing into that. So now they're gonna have their shatter, their grabs up fast. Coming in though, pause, relapsing, and we don't see that aggressive positioning that we saw in this defense. Electing to instead play on this first bridge here.
Yeah, I don't
Wide
think they
open
want to
defense.
risk it. They say, hey, we don't want to go behind. We don't want defense. This is the most important one of this game. We're going to look to we'll hold them here right in front of their face.
Yeah, Garm's 80% on that shatter, really to no one's surprise at this point. It's
He is way out in front of everybody in the game right now.
Definitely be the first ultimate alive on this server, and now 20 seconds left. This overtime fight coming to very soon now, and let's see if Garms can find an entry kill with the shatter.
So Rally does get popped from Redacted. Nice Earth Shatter 4-man to be exact, but Transcendence from Carfixer. It's a little too late. Dembeck and Max Dimension do go down before that Transcendence come out, and now they are down as these spawns are going to be pretty far away, especially when we're already in overtime. And there we have it.
Yeah, now
They're
we
gonna
go into
continue.
this. You see, Denmark and Pedal both have their shatter and Graviton Surge online. Simback, I apologize, and Pedal have both their ultimates online, so that's really the key they need into this. But with 5 ultimates on the side of Magneterra, it's going to be hard for them to really lose this fight. They have a lot to work with.
We can just basically say 6 ultimates as the Graviton comes out. The Diva Bomb from Maniac Man does find Nox. Max Dimensional goes down. Carpet goes down. It looks like Redacted is falling apart here. Maniac Man and Graviton from Slushy were the only ults they used. We need a pause to come through here. There seems to be more problems from the side of Redacted. And it just looks like Redacted is falling apart here on the defense. Their defense wasn't as strong as it was the first time they had to play defense in this match or this game. But looks a little sloppy here. What's happening?
Well, it looked like that there was some lag on Pedal's side there, and he was actually not moving for the entirety of that fight. So that Zara there to create synergy, it's going to be hard. And we've seen a lot of server troubles coming out as was cause of not only this pause but our previous pause. So hopefully these teams can get everything situated as we head back in. Hopefully the servers don't intervene much more because I like to see some high quality Overwatch, and we've seen a lot of it in this series. And now Magneterra has its ultimate's last fight, gonna have 4 for this fight.
Yeah, they look just so lost here for the side of Redacted as this push is going to be an extremely long one, especially with 1 minute on the clock. They're still pushing this into overtime, almost 50 meters, ladies and gentlemen. Big Earth Shatter, but it doesn't really find one. It does find Carfaxer, but Dembeck is able to block that. They do have a Graviton Surge. It does pull in 2. Here comes the Diva Bomb. It does find Slushy, but no other people, and this looks like it may be the end of this push here for Magneterra. Ironclad is still contesting on the Lucio. He's able to try and hold. He gets booped off, and that was enough of a boop off to send this one to the round 4.
Yeah, going now, another attack going to be on the side of Redacted, and that bridge on point B actually marks the geometric exact center of Junkertown. So 1 minute, 50% of the entire map. Great push there from Magneterra. So Redacted now on their this last leg, they need to get 57 meters on point B to keep themselves alive in this winner's bracket. Otherwise, head over to the instant elimination side of this tournament.
Okay, so the bad news is they have to push 56-7, right? But the good news is they got to the door here on Junkertown, their first push. super fast. So if they're able to do that again, only make it 1, maybe 2 team fights here, they might have a chance, although they did have problems once they got through the door. So that could come into play as well. And now, here we are, as Redacted is looking ready to come out. They do have a Sombra on the side of Slushy with Magnetera. A little interesting. They only had a minute, so this might not be a scout because he won't have enough time to get back.
And I really like what they're doing here. Wearing that Sombra, that Ana, that tells me that, okay, yeah, we're not going to win first fight. But guess what? We don't need to. We need to win a single fight. So you build that Sombra up, get that EMP, and then nano Garms, because he's already a machine without the nano, and with one even more efficient. So they're really playing for a single fight, use all of their ultimates, and wipe them off the point.
Oh, and here we go. We're going into it. 40 seconds remaining of that 1 minute they had. Sombra doing a lot here, able to teleport out, and now nice biotic grenade from the side of Heroes. Not playing that Zenyatta.
Yeah, and you run that Sombra, you don't have a D.Va to make space. So despite these fights being so even, we see that Magnetera has to play farther back, and Redacted's getting a lot of push out of this.
Not a lot of ult charge coming from the side of Slushy either, so, you know, could be disrupting the back line. Not
Carnes dies with that shatter, though. That's a very key fight they need. So Redacted looking in a good spot to capture this here.
Yeah, they're looking like they were the first time. They were pushing this in pretty fast, and now overtime has begun. They are able to finish off Nico for the stagger here, and 91% on this EMP. This is going to be the setup here. They're going to be able to EMP into a nice Earth Shatter maybe, with that Rhine shield coming from Dembeck not being available. So we're going to look to see what they do here as this push well underway in overtime.
Yeah, there's so many ults on both sides, but Cardfixer has that trance. It's up to him. Like that mind game between the Zenyatta and the Sombra on this EMP. If Cardfixer can stay alive from the EMP and pop the Transcendence, that's going to be their best bet. If he comes out, he doesn't get it. He comes back.
Oh, and a nice Transcendence from the side of Cardfixer. And now Graviton pulls in 4, might be 5, there it is. They don't find much value, but they're max dimension. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
That was so clean there from Cardfixer, and they're going to push this through. No one can touch a D.Va Bomb for celebratory pyrotechnics as we push through. Now, going to be heading for the first time this game to our 3rd series.
Wow. Oh my, a Brigitte right there, getting that many kills off of that Zarya grab right there. And, you know, Redacted able to find some success. As I said, you know, they came through that first push pretty quickly, and they did just that here in the last round. So they were able to push through to that. And this is going to be our first map 3 we're going to go to on stream. There has been a few in the tournament so far, so it's kind of win or lose here. If they're able to draw, there is a tiebreaker. But, you know, let's talk third map here. We are in round 3, and it's going to be between Eichenwald and Volskaya. So, in your opinion, first, let me ask you, who's your player of the match there?
I mean, let's talk about the shatter farming machine, Garms. I stopped counting after a while because he was just breaking the ratio. It got to like 7 shatters in 5 fights. So now we head on to Eichenwald here, and this is a map that's very heavily Reinhardt based. After this first point, you almost need a Reinhardt to just stay alive. So Garm's showing us that he's an ace on that Reinhardt. I think Magnetera has a bit of an advantage coming into here.
Yeah, and you know, for me, it's going to have to be Max Dimension. He's basically the one who won that game for them. They had Rhine Shield, he got EMP'd, and he was still able to pick up 4 to 5 kills in that entire fight right there off the Zarya graph and just finish off the push with that. So we're going to be heading into Eichenwald here, and as you said, big Reinhardt map here. And I like this because that means we're going to see Dembeck and Garms go at it again.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Okay, so Garms has done this every single spawn where he's gone to Pharah and then killed himself with the rockets. So, yeah, we do not condone suicide here at Space Esports, but I think Garms was just kind of wanting to be shouted out. So there you go. I know you can't hear me, but but it happened.
Hey, you never know. He could have us, you know, in his ears.
Just listening to the stream in the back on that 3-minute delay, like, yes, they did it. Now, heading into this, unsurprisingly, the Reinhardt 3-3, because there is such a strong choke point on Eichenwald that you
Yeah,
can
we
just
just see
use
Flushing
Reinhardt.
coming out with that Sombra as usual for the scout play here. Let's see if they switch. I didn't find much value out of that in the very beginning there, so they will switch to the Zarya here.
I mean, you can just kind of tell from where they're holding it. They're going to be running that Reinhardt 3-3 because they're running the dive goats. Then they'd be holding it more aggressively. Seeing they play far back, you know, okay, Reinhardt mirror matchup. We like these. We favor these. Now pushing in, doing a long rotation here. It looks like.
Yeah, they're going to rotate around tower into this little village area here on the right side, but they're getting pushed back here by Redacted. Redacted, after that first game on Busan, looked to be surging with new power here as they're going to aggressively push Magnetera back into their spawn.
And Denmark kind of like stealing Graham's power, 90% on this Shatter. Graham's only coming up on 20%. So, you know, I think Denmark's had enough. I think.
Yeah, Dembeck said, hey, listen, I'm the better Ryan here, okay? So the entire Redacted team's flipped the switch here. Dembeck's flipped the switch on Garms, and they're getting a lot of value out. They do have Earth Shatter if they're looking for one here.
And Garms,
this time,
yeah,
they elect to go around the other side of the tower this time.
Not even getting a chance to get to there. Slushy gonna fall. Beat Cop drop right before it though, so really not what you want to be seeing. A very fine grab gonna clean up the rest of these kills.
No, they don't elect to use the Transcendence from Viros. Looks like he's just gonna allow them to kill them. So he doesn't stagger too hard here. About 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here on Eichenwald. This is map 3, so, you know, if they full hold here for the side of Redacted, that means Magnetera is gonna have to force a tiebreak.
Well, full hold may not be likely, because ults are finally coming online from Magnetera, and once they have these ultimates, they more often than not use them more effectively. Early rally from Max Dimension though. Aggression and Garm's Shatter can be completely denied.
Oh, and V-Rose does pop a Transcendence to heal up the rest of the team. Meanwhile, Kuya dropping the Diva Bomb, doesn't find anyone with it, and now the Garm coming in with the pin, slapping people around now with the hammer. He's gonna go down to Dembeck, saying, oh man, I'm the better Reinhardt here. And Redacted, with Pedal and Max Dimension getting in on this action as well, are gonna look up to clean up that team fight as well. And Magnetera is gonna have to start over once again. They will have Nico with the rally. Darms could have his Earth Shatter here in the next fight pretty soon. They will have a Diva Bomb as well. What are you looking for Magnetera to do differently this time?
Overall, their rotations have been very slow and sloppy. They'll commit to go somewhere, but they'll try and fight in that mid area. If they just pressure somewhere, actually commit as a team, that rally's a great focal point to do so, yet they seem held back for some reason. They may be shook up after that loss because they're not playing their usual aggressive selves. They finally touched the point for the first time in this series, so hopefully they can get the entry kills that they need, and they do. Dimbeck falls.
They're going to see a 5-man Graviton right there. Is it going to kill anyone? No. Well, that was a 4. They didn't find much value off of it. Actually, no value at all, as they're still fighting here on the... Oh, and some boobs coming from Iron Crit, and the game will be paused. But Iron Crit with the iron boobs. Sorry. Oh man, I'm so excited for that play. That was they like baited them there. They get pulled into this grab. No value comes of the grab, so they just back up and say, "Hey, come over here, guys." And they're able to boop 2 people off there. I think it was Kuya and Max Dimension who have been doing a lot for Redacted here alongside Dembeck. And now the point looks to be getting captured here by Magnetera finally with 30 seconds remaining.
Hey, I mean, doing it at all is better than not accomplishing it, and aided from a little flashy play there from Iron Crit, fighting 2 on the boop. Always love to see a good Lucio play there. So now as we look into this, you know, not only do they win this fight, they're going to have time to push this card, but look at these ultimates. The only thing they're missing is the rally and the beat drop. And when you're playing aggressively, the rally works great for that, but you have the bigger bank. You have that Reinhardt Shower to get those entries. And honestly, if you're Viros, you know, if you're ult tracking right, you know Pedal hasn't been getting these grabs super fast. You know he just used it, so we might even see them use this Transcendence aggressively and try and find these kills off of that.
Yeah, exactly. Petal was finding a lot of value with Zar on that Junkertown, was getting a lot of grabs out as quickly as possible. And this time, he's only able to find, what has it been, one or two here on the defense for Eichenwald. So we're going to jump right back into the game here. And it looks like it's going to be a capture for the side of Magneterra. So they are going to start this payload push here with about 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes here.
Yeah, and 3 minutes is not a lot of time when you consider how long this is, and I like this. They're playing super aggressively, and okay, Koya switching off the Diva to the Sombra, and this shows me that Redacted kind of knows, like, yeah, we're not winning this next fight. Might not even win this fight after that. When they get that EMP up, they're going to collapse on them and get a gigantic fight when reset the ult economy and swing it in their favor. So they're not playing for second point here. They're playing for this third point in an early, aggressive grab going to come out. The Trance there to deny this
Pull
space,
in
though.
5, nice Diva Bomb coming through. Doesn't find anyone, though, as the sound barrier was popped from Nox. And now V-Rose has to pop Transcendence. Nice Earth Shatter. They're going to single out Nico. Bubbled. Oh, and then he goes down to Car Fixer, who picks up a double kill on the Nico as well. And Demek, once again, putting the hammer down on Garm as he says, I am the Rhino around these parts.
That fight perfectly highlighted the Redacted defensive style. They played that at an ultimate disadvantage, only using Dimbek's Shatter there and Cartfixer's Transcendence, yet won against 5 ultimates. Not only that, they now have the EMP, so they're in a position to win this next fight so heavily to have the rest of their ults up. With only a minute 30 left, Magneterra really needs to find something.
Nice grab here. It does grab 3. Iron Clinton Diva as well, played by Maniac Man. They are able to pick up kills on... Look who kills Garms again. It's Dembek. This guy is upset that Garms is getting all the here, and he's looking to take it away. As Redact is able to hold this once again, and they're going to get real aggressive here.
Yes, a minute left, and still Koya saved that EMP. Playing smart there, not over-investing. So now they have this. We're in basically last fight chance here. You know, this is Magneterra's last great shot at getting 6 people on this cart together. So even though the ults are starting to come online, it won't matter because Koya can just take them away.
Oh, and look at the battle. Earth Shatter goes down, but Dembek with the shield up doesn't get anyone. V-Rose has to pop Transcendence here. About 40 seconds remaining. They still have this Transcendence on the side of Redacted. They will elect to use Sound Barrier here, and it looks like Magneterra maybe can momentum, but it's being pushed back from Redacted.
This is amazing play from Redacted. Koya actually got stunned out of his EMP. There's like a couple frames that Nico on that brig abused where the EMP still being casted, takes it away, EMP gone, and yet Redacted still win that fight. So they really found their stride in this latter half of the series, playing together much stronger with this team play now. And Pedal has that grab up, and V-Rose and Iron Crit are nowhere near their defensive ultimates to stop this.
Oh, but there's no follow-up damage on that grab. So Magneterra, oh, big Earth Shatter onto the Diva here. Maniac Man's gonna get demeched, and now there's only 2. Now there's only 1, and this looks like it's gonna be the end of the push here for Magneterra, as Redacted is able to hold with not too much of a push to go.
Yeah, and you know, Magneterra played that aggressive style, and I guess it just took Redacted a bit of time to figure out what the key is to doing that, and that's really focusing down Garms. Garms did not find the efficiency he did on the Junkertown, and of course that was insane, and it's really not due to him playing subpar. Garms is still playing amazingly, but Redacted and they're just focusing together. So much synergy around this team. I really love how strong this team can play with each other.
Yeah, exactly. I like the play from Garms. He's still playing fairly well, but he's not playing as aggressive as he was in game 1 and 2. You know, here he's playing a little more passive as Dembek has stepped up and started to get more aggressive. And Max Dimensional and Kuya as well, putting out a lot of damage themselves on the Brig, the Diva, and the Sombra as well. They did hold that EMP. She was stunned out of it, but it was great play to hold it because they had under a minute to go. They were looking to get super aggressive on that zone there. Now, on offense here, let's look to see what they go with.
And I don't know if they're going to be sticking with this, but You know, we see a Mercy, a Sombra, and a Diva, so it could just be to grab the attention to bait the casters out. Because normally when you see a Mercy, it's always a far with it. Normally when you see Tracer and Sombra, you see a Winston on top of that. So most likely not going to be running that on this offense. But I can hope and I can dream.
I can dream too. And I dream that Kuya stays on the Sombra at least. The rest could change. I know Max Dimensional probably won't stay because Petal played the Widow. One time it did happen. So, you know, they could be both Widow players. But hey, my guess is it'll change. And it does.
Yeah, they're going for a little spawn peek there, trying to max gesture on his Widowmaker supremacy. Now, as we push into this, a Reinhardt 3-3 mirror match, and on the offense, Magnetera is gonna have, a much better time with their aggressive style of play.
Oh, Sombra gets behind. She tries to get the hack off. I believe on the Maniac Man he tried there. And now, Ultimate's a little bit halfway, but Zeros is gonna almost fall there. He is hacked, so this could smell trouble for Magnetera as the hack comes in. Now Kuya goes down, Nico able to hit him.
They find Kuya, so now as this fight goes on, no ult charge gonna be gone, and you see Redacted doing a full retreat. They do not want to fight without that Sombra, because that's where Sombra finds her EMP charge, is in those chaotic mid fights where you can't be looking for her. She can hack a target, she can get a clip or two off and really charge that. So full reset coming down here, and now the Magnetera has a lot of ults to work with here. They're gonna have almost everything online for this fight.
Yeah, that was perfect communication from the side of Magnetera. They noticed, hey, V-Rose, I'm playing Zenyatta. I just got hacked. Kuya's going to kill me. Please, help, help, help. They were able to turn around and instantly burn her down. So now, here comes Redacted for the second fight.
They find again in the Brickstone. You can't go back. Grab coming out. Petal using transfer spots. No kills coming out of it.
They won't have EMP until maybe midway through T's third fight here. Oh, and a big Earth Shatter, but it gets blocked by Dembek as Redacted looks to back up once again. Kuya goes down once again as well. So, you know, Kuya not finding a lot of value out of this Sombra. Gets picked early. Good communication, good turnaround, good recognition coming out from the side of Magnetera as we look to go into yet another defensive hold.
2 minutes left here, and finally, just Redacted's been able to get these ultimates. They haven't had a real fight to charge these big ultimates up, but they're gonna have 5 online, only missing the transfer, the full sweep. Not a lot to really stop it here, so this is Redacted's best chance to win this fight.
Yeah, they do have EMP now. They have everything. They pop Rally. They're gonna pop the EMP. 5 members of Magnetera. 4 get pulled into the grab. They have nothing to stop it. And Zarya is going to go down as well. That's a full team wipe for the side of Redacted. It looks like they're going to have this payload. And if all things go as planned, just like they did in Junkertown, they could push this fairly quickly.
Yeah, that yellow box victory is not too far away, and they managed to keep on to some key ultimates here. They're going to have both defensive ultimates, and Dembek has that shatter, and he's been very good with finding what he needs. A good grab, though. Mir coming back.
Oh, and the return! Earth Shatter gets 3. They're able to pick up Slushy off of it. Kuya is behind. He's going to teleport out. Jeez. Halfway to EMP.
I mean, Redacted saying they want to win this now, investing into this fight, they really don't need to. It might be working out in their favor, though. Kuya finding the backline, already 80% on another Transcendence, and with 4 minutes, they have plenty of time to work with.
Yeah, that first couple times on Kuya Sombra wasn't looking so great, but that was the capture point. Here we're in the payload push, a lot more room to work, especially in that backline with this high ground, able to flex back and get out of trouble with that teleport as quickly as possible. And now here comes another EMP on the Diva and Nico and Iron Crit as well. That's 2 of their supports. They're not going to be able to use ultimates, but they don't have them anyways. And now Dembek and Max Dimensional goes down. And they look like they're going to try and hold this.
Awkward EMP didn't catch Garms, and the second it pops, Garms uses that shatter, finds 3, so now Magnetera has some space to work with here, and they also have ultimates coming online. Garms already at 60% on that shatter, but Slushy has his Graviton Surge to work with.
Yeah, they will have Sound Barrier, and Earth Shatter comes back for the Redacted. I think the EMP from Kuya was a little bit of a panic ult there. It did find some value onto target, but not much value. to pretty much do anything afterwards of that. Now looks like as if they're going to be coming back in here. Dembeck 85% and charging. We'll have it pretty soon here. Oh, nice graviton comes out.
Nico gonna fall early there. Without that break, there's so much to be like.
Oh, the big earth shatter from Garms!
It's a big earth shatter, but even bigger grab on this side of Petal. Gonna find everything he needs. Dimbeck not gonna find a lot out of that shatter.
Yeah, the shatter from Garms was good, but no follow-up kills as Max Dimensional and Dembeck fall here. And then again, the grab was just as great. Pulled in some targets, but then again, nothing fell. The kills come out after all the ults had already been finished and gone. And now we look to go into another fight here with a minute 20 remaining and neither side with ults. Nico does have rally for the side of Magnetera, so this is going to be a pretty interesting fight here to begin with.
Yeah, Corey's gonna have that EMP. In every single fight, this becomes more and more likely for Magnetera as they start building these synergies up. Slushy already coming up to another grab. Of course, he's gonna have a shatter now. Corey needs to find almost every single member with his EMP.
Oh, nice EMP! Almost gets everyone.
Doesn't find heroes though, whose strength is gonna deny all of this. Actually, gonna die immediately afterwards.
Oh, and a nice earth shatter doesn't find the targets that they wanted though. Now Garms is looking to farm Karthik. Some nice ult charge as well.
30 seconds on this clock. Redacted is rushing as they can. They're gonna have just enough time to get everyone together, and Petal has that grab and there's nothing to stop it, so it's really up to him. He needs to get a lot of people inside of this and a lot of fault needs to be put into this. If Petal doesn't find a grab or if it gets eaten, it's almost gonna be impossible for him to actually capture this here.
Flushy has a grab as well for the side of Magnetera. Oh, it doesn't pull anyone for the side of Flushy. And now a big
finds
grab.
3 inside the grab though. This could be done. Redacted might be able to find off of this. Gar's gonna pop. He's gonna fall. And that long defense looks like it might just be in vain for Magnetera as it's just V-Rose who has the chance to keep everyone alive. Well, their sports saved Junkertown.
And they're gonna fall. And just like that, Redacted has won map 2 and map 3. Game 2, game 3, whatever it may be, they're moving on out of round 3.
That was amazing right there. I mean, great Overwatch, and V-Rose here gonna get this play at the game, right? And you know, I mean, Garms was playing so well in Junkertown, and then finally started getting some pressure onto him.
Exactly. 35 high energy kills. Petal. He played great on the Zarya, but I'm gonna have to give my standout player of this match to Dembeck. Dembeck just played tremendous for Redacted. He started off a little slow, as well as the rest of his team there on Busain, but they were able to come back in Junkertown, and that was a dogfight to the very end, both on both initial payload pushes and then in overtime as well. And now here, they're able to close it out on Eichenwald to move on to the next round.
Yeah, that was a great series. So now, going to be wrapping up to the end. Yeah, I mean that's some heart-pumping Overwatch there. Very close to every single one of those fights, and you know, a very great main tank play out of both these teams.
So you know, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go to break here soon. But before we do, this has been awesome to watch. Stick around. We have more coming up. We're going to be seeing 666 Legend going up against Citizens here in a round 3 matchup. My name is Blue.
And I'm Setka, and we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back. My name's Blue, and I'm joined by Setka. We are here for the Overwatch Editions tournament brought to you by Space Esports. We are going to be watching Citizens versus 666 Legend. And fun fact, 666 Legends actually got their name because they're big fans of the China Contenders team, 666 Legends. But on the other side, we have Citizens, who, before the tournament, everyone told us they were most scared to go up against this team. So this is looking like a really good matchup, especially for Citizens, who apparently have a rap of being so dominant as they made playoffs last time Space Esports had a tournament for Overwatch of the Open Division. And fun fact, they're without their main tank Solari too. So Setka, Break it down for us.
Yeah, not working on full effect here, but this team still has a lot of synergy. And real quick, before we get into this game, I do want to make a note. There is a Chinese name on the side of 666 Legend, and in Chinese that translates, at least according to Google Translate, to training robot. So TR Bot is what he's going to be known by. Now as we head on to this, back to Busan on the downtown center, and Brim is on the Torbjorn. Please, the Fran gods, smile on us, give us the Torbjorn.
Yeah, and just a reminder, and for those of you just joining us, twitch.tv/space esports, remember, this is a round 3 matchup, so the map will be Busan, and the second map is between Blizzard and Junkertown. It just depends on what the losers choose. But for right now, we're here on downtown of Busan as the teams come out for the first fight of the game.
And running this Hammond, this 2-2 one composition here, a solo tank around, and Lemonwee finding Rad Attack very early, not only charging that EMP, but denying that main support gone. So less sustain on the side here versus a Winston 3-3 Reinhardt. Wow, I'm saying all the words and none of them are correct. The Winston dive coming out here.
Yeah, it's a lot of DPS picks starting off here real early on too. We see on the Widow getting a couple shots on, and TSL by Olsey able to find a kill on the Brim here with the Ana as he goes down to purple quickly after though. And we see TR Bot on the Tracer already has Pulse Bomb, throws it out, doesn't find anyone with it though. He does stick to the ground, and now Hammond making some noise on the point here. As TR Bot is able to demech purple, but he goes down shortly after. Minefield already popped for the side. Hammond.
Yeah, Citizens finding that edge there, and again, running that Winston 3-3. No, you have 3 tanks. You play that point because with only one Hammond, you really can't do that, at least for that first fight. But now, Lemonwee has that EMP up, and Pure Oxen finds a nice pick on a purple there. No Diva to deny any of that entry here, so 666 Legend has a good body. Pure Oxen finds another kill onto Brim, another one to Ratchet. I can't even finish a sentence for this man finds another headshot.
Yeah, and TR Bot doing a lot of work on this Tracer, moving in and out and side to side, just causing a havoc backline of the Citizens lineup. And now 666 Legends able to take control here of the objective as they start to gain some percentage. 55% for the side of Citizens as they try to make their way back in here. They do have the Primal Rage and the Self-Destruct as well, looking to move in, but EMP for Lehman Way on the side of 666 Legends is ready. And there it goes, it gets popped.
They find default too, so that's that grab gone. Even though the EMP wears out, they won't have that grab available to them because it's going to be in the spawn. An aggressive Diva Bomb though actually finds Pure Oxen, so a huge injury here for Citizens. And playing so aggressively, they find Grand DL as well. Yeah,
and TR Bot goes down to rack attack on the Moira. A little help there from the Boop as well as Brim and Lucio. Being played by Camboyo, getting in on all of that action here as the point has been retaken here by Citizens.
Wee switches over from the Widowmaker to the Pharah, needing more of that upfront burst damage. Pure Oxen though finds Brim. This man is a machine on this Widowmaker. Now, gonna be dove on right now. Great peel though. Training TR Bot falls in response.
Pure Oxen's getting dove on here by Madman on the Winston. He's gonna go down to purple as well. Camboyo finding some more action as Rack pops the Coalescence, and Citizens is gonna push this team back. Meanwhile, Hammond, L4 Wang trying to go for the flank here. He's gonna have to regroup. It's 96%. He is gonna touch point, so they are gonna stall this out and they're gonna look to try and cap this. Meanwhile, Citizens trying to make their way back. TR Bot is still on this Tracer, still causing a havoc, and we're gonna have another team fight here on the objective.
Minefield gets popped. Default, that grab is no longer at use here for Citizens. Purple can be demagged as well. A lot of these damage coming in before the fight even starts. Lemonwee finding some value on this Pharah. Now these skills slowly start trickling into the way of 666 Legend.
Yeah, there's still some mines laying around on the point as well as the top. They're gonna disappear now as the point gets flipped in favor of 666. Man. L4 Wang doing a lot on the Hammond there.
Yeah, I mean, got around, played the point very well, but now we push into this, and Madman's going to have that Primal Rage, and against this kind of spread out composition, he's going to be able to do so much. That So they really need to play around him. Even just getting that hack to deny those jumps could do a lot.
Oh, and they find Lehman Way and TR Bot with that. The TR Bot did go down to D.Va outside of her mech. Grav comes in. They are able to find Flora Wang. And this smells trouble because 666 Pharah had barrage and went down to the D.Va bomb. Transcendence gets popped here by Biolsi. They're going to go down as well. Primal range from Mapman, able to find one onto Biolsi as well. And it doesn't look like 666 is going to have what they need.
I know that great EMP and a two-man barrage from Liman Week gonna be a really good streak here. It's just purple left. It looks like 666 actually managed to keep this point. Now they're gonna capture it 70%, and this is one fight territory for Citizens, and they used all their ultimates on that last engagement.
You know, 4-0 Wang goes down, he's playing Hammond. TR Bot goes down, he's playing Tracer. They're able to get back to the objective in that team fight so quickly that they keep the team fight going. And with Lehman Way coming in with the two-man barrage as well off of spawn, they're able to flip this back in their favor. And now it's 87% and climbing for 666, 99% for Citizens as they look to try and retake this.
Yeah, default has to switch over to the McCree just to deal with Liman Wei. Gonna find Wang on that Hammond though. Point gonna be flipped, and it's so hard to get that point pressure without running any tanks, especially when you're only one's down. 666. Their name is, but that was a C9, everybody.
You hate to see it. The classic C9 right there. Default did fall pretty early, so he wasn't able to take care of Raj or the Pharah either. So, you know, that was still free, but Hack Attack and Camboyo able to steal the point away.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running that pharmacy, your entire point is to stay mid-air, so really don't want to have to fall to touch that point. Can't really blame them for doing that, and now we see onto Mecha base now. See a lot of May here, but default actually on this Roadhog. I don't know if he sticks with this, but oh, yeah, yes, Roadhog, the hook and kill character going on. So
yeah, if you can find some high value target hooks here, this could be deadly, especially taking control of this high ground while the point is still locked. Oh man, and 666 is pushing right into this Citizens team. You know, everyone told us they were scared of Citizens. Well, it looks like 666 wasn't one of those teams. They're getting super aggressive.
Yeah, they run that comp. Citizens does to hope to see a Winston 3-3. Don't see it. Go back to the Reinhardt now and pushing it very aggressively. 666, however, does get that first capture, and Camboyo, oh my god, he was so low, pushing back. Now Citizens have to push this at a disadvantage. They have to right into them, but they find that wing on that Reinhardt. So a massive engagement opening for them.
And not only that, we see TR Bot this time. Once again, that is the player on the red side. Legend, the name that is in Chinese characters, so you know, translates to training range robot. And meanwhile, Brim and Purple, they're going off. Mapman finds one. Well, oh, and they are just dominating to take this point back here. Citizens now with the capture. 29% was the amount that 666 was able to get here. TR Bot, like I was saying, not on the Tracer this time, swapping to this D.Va here, so trying to find some value.
This is the first time we've really seen that Reinhardt 3-3 from 666 now, and it kind of shows their inexperience on it, because despite having to switch off, Citizens already has their ultimates available.
Yeah, and they pop Rally, as well as the D.Va self-destruct here. It will find a triple kill! Side of Purple! 4-0 Wang, Lehman Way, and gonna go down to that. And Purple! Oh boy! Tell them what your name is.
Yeah, I mean, Purple kind of bruising up 666 to his color of his name right there. And now as we push into this, right, we saw that they had to invest to Transcend to stay alive. So now default's grab is going to have so much more value. Up to Grandly to use his Lucio sound barrier to cover it, but you can easily burn that. Using the lines, such a nasty grab.
And they're able to find 4 kills. They demech TR Bot as well, and he's going to go down to Camboyo. He's able to boop him right off the map there. Camboyo with another nice boop kill. Meanwhile, what a grab from default.
And now Liman Wee's gonna have his grab available, but Rat Attack has the trance to counter it, so it's gonna be much harder to replicate that success.
And they have the TR Bot as well. Sound barrier gets popped. Nice grab here. This could smell trouble, but Transcendence and a triple kill.
TR bot finds 3 matching purple from earlier. Now, with this entry, gonna find a 4th to his name. So triple six gonna be getting this point at the very last second.
Yo, his name may be training range bot, but he ain't playing like. As they are able to retake this with 89% in favor of Citizens, and now triple six is gonna look to hold them here as they're at 40% and climbing.
Hey, look, those training roach bots are hard to hit, man. As a main tank player, practicing Widowmaker on them, I got like a 15% accuracy, so not knocking the training range bots. Now, Wang, though, has his Shatter available to find a massive entry kill in this fight.
Rally here gets popped from Pure Oxen. They do have Transcendence. Earth Shatter was used as well. They're able to demech Purple, though, from the side of triple six, but Purple and Default still finding kills.
Yeah, and Default murdering them down already has a grab available. Really doesn't need to pop it here, especially because
they're gonna pop that grab. They don't have Transcendence on the side of triple six. This could be a retake. 90% in climbing now.
Yeah, they're gonna have the grab to push into this and nothing to cap it. 5% left, who I don't even know if someone's gonna be able to touch. Looks like Wang's have to come from the
They need to see a grab right here. They need to see a grab. They don't have Transcendence. They have to recognize that. Diva Bomb doesn't find anyone. Transcendence popped by Rack Attack. Here's the big play, baby. Doesn't find anyone with the Diva Bomb. There was 3 in. Earth Shatter comes up. They're able to find 1 off of that. Can they demech TR bot? They do. Camboyo and Purple, along with Default, able to find kills. Rack Attack on the TR bot. Transcendence gets popped here for the 3rd time. Sound barrier as Citizens take game 1. Wow. Man, TR bot was looking good. Purple was looking good. TR bot did pick up play of the game with that triple kill from the Diva self-destruct. But, you know, right before that happened, Purple had a nice triple kill with the Diva self-destruct as well. Both Diva players playing really, really well. But unfortunately, Citizens was able to cap point both times and win this game. Setka, what was your play or player of the match there?
I mean, we talked about how Citizens didn't have their main tank. It kind of showed because Madman wasn't really playing with that normal synergy, but still such clean main tank play coming out of there. So now, as we head onto our next time, we're actually going to be taking a small little break here as Lima and we needs to restart their internet. So we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the Overwatch Editions tournament brought to you by Space Esports. My name is Blue and I'm here with Setka, and we're going to be getting map number 2 with Citizens versus Triple Six Legends here in a little bit. But before that, Setka, where are we going and what can we expect from these two teams?
We are heading to the land down under on Australia. And having those two teams, you know, Citizens was very feared by most teams. They got, you know, made very far open division, great GOATs play. And the Triple Six Legend stole their name from a Chinese contenders team, and a contenders team known for their unusual play. And we've definitely seen it out of all of them, and especially the man with the Chinese name over on Triple Six is Training Range Bot, or TR Bot. That man has been doing a lot of wacky stuff throughout this entire game, and Junkertown is one of those maps where you don't have to run the 3-3. It's really weird because it is a payload map, but it's so long and so wide open, spread out, that you can run snipers, you can run a Junkrat, so you know, a lot of interesting stuff you can see out of here, and Triple Six Legend not disappointing with what I'm seeing out of spawn.
Yeah, and for the same side as Citizens as well, you know, it's a long respawn, so they might not be able to change. We're gonna see a Hanzo, we're gonna see a Widowmaker. You have the Diva, Orisa, and Roadhog as well, so they're gonna be running the solo heal.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of calls back to like the stage 1, season 1 Overwatch League Moth meta, except running a Diva instead of where you'd have a Zen normally. So interesting positions here. And now I think that once Citizens see what Triple Six is running here, they're going to run back pretty fast, because you really don't want to be running a Orisa into a Bastion.
Oh, I like this from Default. He does have to back up here as Pure Oxen puts some damage onto him. But he's going to back up off that little pedestal he was sitting on there. Roadhog trying to get some damage out here. And this payload is already moving here.
Pure Oxen, he owned on Busan and now showing his supremacy again. Dome's default to start it off. Rez coming through, however, so we're going to find this at 6v6. But this payload is marching forward.
Yeah, we've only seen a little bit of Widow play here early on. I think Pure Oxen's going to take the cake here with the best Widow play we've seen so far. And this payload is still marching towards this door here. And they look to be pushing this in faster than Redacted even did. Lehman Way on this Bastion sitting right next to this shield on the payload. There's not much you're going to be able to do against that.
I mean, when Junkertown first came out as a map, the Bastion bunker strat was so popular because it was so hard to counter it, and we saw insane time banks of 6 and 7 minutes going to fully capture here, but teams learned how to adapt around it. And now, because it's been out for so long, Citizens caught off guard, not gonna be able to rack the time. But now, coming in the second defense, they're on this Reinhardt 3-3, and with the honor to provide that burst healing, that sleep, and that anti-nade, so getting these good changes to actually counter the Bastion. But Bastion's playing farther back than they were expecting, and the burn is coming through. Pure Oxen finds Cambodia.
Oh, a nice sleep on Biolsi on the high ground there. Mercy there, just to make sure that he stays alive during that.
They find Bastion. That's the main source of damage negated from 666 right now, but it won't matter as Wang with the Orisa murdering down Matman.
Oh, and Pure Oxen is still putting the pain out, getting a kill on default and Purple as well. He even demeched Purple himself. Now TR bot on the Hanzo. This could be a deadly combo here, getting hit from both Hanzo and Widowmaker. Now,
and not to mention, Lee Monui has the tank configuration here, and because they have to play so spread out, Madman and Default are nowhere near their tank ultimates because they haven't had time to really get any damage through.
Oh, they see who and where they're coming from as Dragon Strike. Orisa being played by L40 Wang, able to find a Grim. Nano Supercharger comes out for the down, but that's still up. Transcendence is forced by the side of 666 here.
And such clean play. They're making them play these so far out positions that the longer they're in these sight lines, the more Bastion owning them down. And they actually have to get off the cart, now pushing into this, and Lee Manui's burning them down.
Yeah, he is just sitting there as if he is just a machine gun turret, just pounding the bullets into this Citizen squad. They're not even looking at him. Tank configuration comes out. He's able to help, but Hanzo, that is training range bot once again with the quadra kill. Oh my goodness.
Bastion is quite literally a machine gun turret. And now we push into this. Pure Oxen been deadly in this Widowmaker without wall hacks. Now has them on available here. Training range bot has this Dragon Strike to zone them off. And so while all of that is going on, this cart is being pushed. There's so much progress on this cart for almost 5 minutes still. And they're already getting a good chunk of the way on C here.
Well, they have nice high ground control. Oh, a nice sleep on Biolsi again! And a big
big combination on top of the fidget spinner. Finds 3 though, so such clean play there from Citizens. Finally managed to get a fight off of 666.
And Purple able to clean up Biolsi as well on the high ground in that there. I don't think Zenyatta really wanted to take that one, but he had to take it straight to the face as Diva cleans up the kill with the melee. What a self-destruct coming from Purple. That was a triple kill. But we gotta talk about Rack Attack, getting these sleeps on the Zenyatta. He's not able to heal, he's not able to put out damage, and he's definitely not able to pop that Transcendence in case he has it.
666 has to switch over to the Goats now after being finally stalled out. A big Nano and Ratman's gonna give him so much damage. He already used the Shatter, and now just blowing down this team, not finding what it really needs to. That's 2 big ults and a nice trance. They got pushed aggressively here. Citizens needs to find a kill.
Yeah, and the shield is up from Matman. They're trying to push into him as Brim is hiding behind him, as well as Pure here. It's getting some nice damage on with it. And it looks like 666 Legend may have some momentum. They may be able to push this a little bit further. They still have over 3 minutes remaining, and they're pretty much there. Only a few meters to go.
And see, the key thing is that Lee Monui is going to have this grab, and because Rad Attack just switched over to the Zenyatta, there's no way he has trance up. So Camboyo needs to get a perfectly timed beat drop in order to make sure everyone stays alive in there.
We do see the Ana being put away by the side of Citizen. Traditional nice Earth Shatter on pop. Big grab as Default is able to find 2 off of Lehman Way and Pure Oxen. And now 666 is 1 by 1. as Madman and Purple clean up the rest, and TR Bot gets stunned out of his mech. He's the last one alive, and this looks like it's going to be a nice stagger in favor of Citizens.
I mean, Default just carrying his team in that fight. So much damage brought out from that Zarya. A great grab, and now a solo grab onto Default here. Taking out that main source of damage, now they really can't do anything, so 666 has so much room to push aggressively now that their Zarya is not there to punish them.
And they're going to push underneath through this little staircase here. As they come in, they don't have much ultimates. You have self-destruct for TR Bot. He's able to find some success in the first. Now Rack Attack is going to have Transcendence early on. Purple does pop the self-destruct. Will this one find some success?
Oh.
Another triple kill! Purple! This man, oh my goodness!
Now, that was assisted by a clean shatter by Madman, but still, 6 D.Va self-destruct kills on 1 round of Junkertown is absolutely insane. Purple showing us his true colors.
Yes, and with a minute and a half to go, 666 had a ton of time in the bank to push this in. Now they're only working with what you call standard time here. So they will have ultimates online. They do have sound barrier. They'll have transcendence as well. So they do have some defensive ults if something gets popped from the side of Citizens. And here we are.
Oh, Tess Oli dies with the Graviton, the Transcendence online. A big shatter though. Not much follow-up as Grim trades the kills.
The sound barrier goes out for the side of 666. And now with about a minute left, they are getting some kills. They are pushing back. Nice grab. Both teams. Not much damage coming out as the Rhine shields are up. Rack Attack does find a kill on Lehman Way, but Pure Oxen able to take Purple out as well, so you won't have that. TR Bot 70-80% on ult here. That could be the deciding factor. Nice sound barrier from Camboyo as well. He's been playing great on this Lucio all set so far. Oh, and TR Bot not able to find anyone. Had to kind of throw that out before the mech was destroyed. Nice grab. Oh, it's an Earth Shatter.
Big shatter. Now it's just cleanup now. As 666 really trying to find any kind of grass. They have 20 seconds. That's just enough time to get everyone there. But Citizens not going to give them for free. Playing really, I guess they're really not. I want them to push up more and try to deny them from touching this card.
Yeah, they do get a lot of value out of their ults, especially the D.Va mechs from Purple here. But, you know, side of their other ults, you know, D.Va just used self-destruct. She's probably going to farm some damage. Oh, man, Madman able to clean up with a fire strike. Smack to Wang there. It is overtime. It is ticking away. They had 5 minutes to get this in. They weren't able to. Let's see if they can finish it off. TR Bot is back on the Tracer here to contest, and they're going to go down. It's up to Hammond, being played by Wang. We saw him play this on Busan. Oh, and he's going to go down. Grab gets popped just for safety measures. Citizens able to hold this one in a nail biter after 666 Legends had a ton of time on the clock. What happened there, Setka?
I mean, you switch off of that Bastion El Presidente composition, and with that, you have to reset your entire ultimate economy. And so now they're completely down, and 666 has shown us that they do not favor that 3-3, that GOATS composition. They still managed to get a very good progress, though, only 3 meters off. So Citizens virtually has to fully capture this point if they want to take this game and the series.
Yeah, they got through that main part of that push, about 90% of the push with that Bastion on the card. That was pretty devastating. So do you expect a Bastion to come out for the side of Citizens? Maybe say, hey, you know what? It worked for them. Let's see if it works for...
You know, with how clean Citizens have been playing this 3-3, I highly doubt it. And, well, they do have it in the spawn, but that does not mean it's permanent. However, we do see a Baptiste, something that you typically see in these bunkers now that he's available. And, okay, I guess Citizens wants to prove me wrong today, going off that Baptiste onto the Hammond.
We talked a little bit about Baptiste early on in our first 2 sets when we were on Hollywood. So, you know, what could be the advantages here with Baptiste? Offense or even defense here.
Yeah, 666 actually electing to run the Baptiste on the defense where you typically see him. And the thing about it is that, you know, Baptiste works well in these compositions because you literally need to kill a 250 HP target while staring in the face of a Bastion.
Oh, look at this. Look at this setup. Look at this setup with the damage boosted Bastion up against the wall right next to the spawn door. Right behind our Orisa shield as well. This could mean trouble. Oh, and default on the Bastion for the side of Citizens. Burned super quickly with that Bastion.
Yeah, I mean, you normally don't see this, but it has been run before you run up against this wall because you have to play so far out to get it. Going over to Reinhardt, pushing to the side, trying to get what they can, but the Immortality Field coming out, zoning them away. Camboyo barely getting away right there. Now, the hard part is playing this corner, that Bastion's going to be dealing so much damage. A charge going to come off, actually going to find what it needs. So great play here by Citizens to break this bunker.
Yeah, that was a good play by Madman. He was able to break the Bastion out, and now it's just time to clean up the kills and try and get some push off of this. It's 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Meanwhile, Purple is pushing right into Pure Oxen on the Hanzo. Oh, and they're able to find a bunch of kills there for the side of Citizens. Now they look to get this payload started.
And
There's an interesting comp with that Bastion there. The reason why I say this is because you have the Baptiste, you have the Mercy, you have the Orisa. It's just a lot of resources having to be put into keeping this Bastion alive. And you almost have to question yourself, is it even worth it?
in that situation, it wasn't, but it can be very valuable. Now as you go to this, we see 666 switching over to a pharmacy, wanting to get all that burst damage in the sky, and a big nano onto default there, really zoning everyone off the point because he's just dealing that much damage.
Not a lot of times you see a Pharah on defense, but here you will with the Mercy, as you said, the pharmacist combo. They do have a Hammond still, nice grab, gets pulled over there is Hammond. Oh, and he's gonna go down, but wow, Citizens lost Matman, their main tank. He is, I believe, the one subbing in for Solari, their usual main tank. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And see, here's the thing about switching over to that Pharah. You don't have the tanks. You don't have the point pressure to win that fight. Even if you get 5 kills, if one person's still alive, they're gonna be actively pushing that cart because no one's there to contest it. So, questionable Pharah defense. And now, here's the thing about 666. They finally filled ult, and they kind of have to run with it. And if they don't win this fight, they're going to be in a bad spot for the last point because they had to switch to the goats there, and they're not going to have time to farm those ultimates before Citizens is already at that yellow box of victory.
Okay, so they have about 4 minutes left to go. They don't have the Bastion comp, so how do you look to push this in as dominantly as 666 did earlier in their round?
I mean, you keep running this comp into what 666 is running, and you're going to have an advantage. I say that Pure Oxen finds Rat Attack with his Spirit Dragon, so now they have a great opening here. Good trance coming out from Olsay now.
Oh, and Brim is able to find TR Bob, but Batman on the now, and Cambodia on the field to Lehman Way on the barrage from Pharah. You know, we just said we don't usually see Pharah on defense here, but starting to work out here as the double kill with the barrage comes through, and now Citizens look to come back through for another team fight and try and get this one in with about 3 minutes remaining.
Yeah, default does have that grab, but there's really not much to grab here. A good nano Winston actually going to start burning down that Zenyatta. Going to find him in Pure Oxygen, so a 2-for-1 deal right now. This card, however, being stalled off, Wang used those mines to get through, but he's going to fall as a result. And now Citizens going to capture this soon. They still have 3 minutes left in the time bank.
Yeah, exactly. And now the Pharmacy duo to surviving here. Looks like a TR bot is going to come back on the Somp this time. They wish to use it. Mercy and Pharah just going to stall the point out here for a second for Hammond to get back. He's just going to let this one go.
Now we go into this here. And it may seem grim, but I remember that Citizens was in a similar situation here on their defense. They actually had 5 minutes on the time bank for 666 Legends. And now, 666 Legends finally has that EMP they've been working for. So they have a really good chance of winning this fight. They're going to have the EMP Dragon running this split comp, they switch off of the Zenyatta. So running the Somber Goats, hopefully get a good EMP, clean that up, and switch back to a more typical composition here. 666 Legends needs a clean fight, though.
Oh, big EMP out from the side of TR Bot. Nice grab pull as well. They pull. And Matman, Raktak, and Brim, as well as Default, all able to pick up some kills here. And Citizens with a huge advantage.
Amazing
3 minutes,
awareness.
they're turning this corner. They've got one more corner to go, excuse me. Man.
I mean, that was just amazing awareness from Citizens. They knew, okay, yeah, TR Bot, he's had to be on the Somber for forever. He's going to have that EMP. What do? Play so spread out that the most he can get is half of us and not the people he wants.
Oh, big deep back comes.
finds Wang. That's the worst person you want to see in that situation. Had
Primal
out their main
Rage.
tank.
Primal Rage gets popped from Matman as well. Gonna end here. They're almost through this push. Pops the Dome Shield. It's gonna go down fairly quickly, but Rack Attack gives the Nano boost to Zarya, and now she is just going in with the bubbles. Gets booped high in the air, and she's got enough energy to burn down some squishy targets here. As Camboyo, Matman, and Brim, they get pulled in, as well as Purple and Default into this, but Nanobiotic Grenade comes through.
Citizens looking like they're gonna take this map and the series. So the clean 2-0 Citizens gets against 666 Legends.
Oh, and the
So-
GGs come out as Citizen takes map 2.
Blue, I need to ask you, a lot of clean play from everybody here, but who do you think was that key player that took Citizens to the edge in this map?
It's got to be Purple. I mean, he had 2 3-man kills off of self-destructs in that small area when 666 had 5 minutes to push this in. So, you know, he was a big help on that long defense that they had to pull out. You know, they were basically had to push it all the way in. He gets 1 kill on the self-destruct right there on the offensive side. Zarya gets nano boosted, and they get pulled into a grab from the side of 666, but there's no follow-up damage. The Rhine shield goes up. D.Va gets pulled out of her mech, but it's not enough, and they're able to push that all the way in to finish this one off on Junkertown.
Yeah, so 666 will be heading to our losers bracket. Going to be going up against someone here shortly as the bracket's updated. So that is going to be our last match of the day. I got some time to talk about what's heading up right there. Great play from all of these teams. I'm super excited. This is a great tournament run by Space Esports. It $240 prize pool, and running in tier 3, it's hard to get any amount of like money playing Overwatch. You know, I've been in the tier 3 scene for a long time, and there are very few tournaments that are accessible that have these good prize pools here.
Yeah, and I wanna go back to Citizens here for a second. I want to talk about Matman. You know, he's not playing great, but he's not playing bad either. And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's the one who's actual tank Solari. So you know, you can give us a shout on Twitter at Space Esports or myself at Real Blue TV or even Setka at Setka, and let us know, is Matman the actual sub or someone else subbing in for him and kind of flexing some roles around? Because Matman, you have to look at it this way. All the teams are saying, hey, you know, the best team in this tournament that we're nervous about going up against has to be Citizens. They don't have their main tank. And when you kind of hear that, you're like, oh, well, you know, they're down one of their best players. So they may look a little bit more vulnerable. And at times they did look a little vulnerable in that matchup against 666. But 666 didn't run the 3-3 as much as other teams would have. So, you know, was Citizens looking dominating with a sub in their lineup, or was 666 not looking up to par against this lineup?
I mean, it's a bit of both. And again, to highlight the fact that Citizens is on an amazing streak throughout this tournament without their starting main tank. And that main tank, you know, that is the focal point of a team. Because not only are you playing all your fights around him, oftentimes the main tank assumes the position of the IGL or the in-game leader in a team because it requires so much game sense, not necessarily on the mechanical side, but just understanding how Overwatch is supposed to be played. So with out their legit main tank, Citizens has still yet to drop a map throughout this tournament. So very great play out of them.
Yeah, and no third rounds coming in, no tie breaking on side of Citizens. So they were able to clean sweep this one out. It was a little bit of a battle. As was doing fairly good on their payload push there early on in the Junkertown map. They did get some success on Busan as well. We did see Purple had 53 eliminations, but let's flip the switch here and let's go to 666 Legends. What did you think about TR Bot, or you know, the player, for those of you who don't know, who had the Chinese name? With the Chinese symbols, we put it through Google Translate, and it translated to training range bot. So we called him TR Bot, but you know, he was able to flex. He played the Tracer early on in Busan. He played the Tracer a little bit there at the end of Junkertown to kind of get back to the main objective of the fight there later in the rounds. And he also played the Sombra, had a couple good EMPs, if I say so myself. And he also flexed the Diva and got some kills on that, as well as a quadra kill early on in their payload push. So, what was your thoughts on TR Bot and what he could have done better, or what he, could
I
have
mean,
done?
talking about TR Bot, right? Interesting character because normally when you see a off tank player flex the DPS, it's normally the Zarya. Because in this 3-3, this GOATS meta, normally the main DPS switches over to the Zarya because Zarya does not require as much game sense and awareness than other tanks do. But TR Bot actually played the Diva and switched over. It played a very fine Tracer and a flashy Hanzo, if I may so myself. Got that play of the game on Junkertown, and he was hitting these insane shots. So definitely a really great player for Triple Six Legends. And being a team, obviously Goats is not their strong suit. And still managing to make it this far in a really like stacked tournament is very impressive. So they are not out of this at all. They are in that losers bracket. They have a chance to come back. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing them again because that was an entertaining game to watch.
Yeah, so they will move on to the uh, losers bracket, and they will be going up against Borrow now. So let's look at that real quick. Who do you see coming out in Borrow now in the losers bracket?
Yeah, Barnard's actually our number one seed in this entire tournament, and they got knocked off very fairly early. So I don't know. Not seeing a lot of Bar now. I remember they did have some very strong 3-3 play. They looked slow on their rotations, and that's really what's gonna kill them. Because if you're not reacting fast enough to these wacky, clown fiesta compositions, they're gonna catch you off guard. So I think Triple Six actually has a very good chance of taking that series away from Bar now.
Okay, so let's talk about another team who's made it to the losers bracket. Oregon Ospreys. They had to beat NA Seismic, which they did in the losers round 2. Losers round 3, they were able to take down the Dedicated Gaming 2-0. And now tomorrow they will be playing Magna Terra. And we saw Magna Terra, but you know a little bit about Oregon Ospreys, who you've casted in a different tournament earlier this year. So what can we expect out of Oregon Ospreys versus Magna Terra in the losers round 4?
So seeing Magneterra and then knowing about Oregon Ospreys, the Ospreys are a team that are really based around just a great team play. They're always coordinated, they're always together. And we saw Magneterra in our last series where not necessarily playing so much as a team, but playing around their strong suits, like individual team play, individual mechanics. So it's really going to be a clash of culture. And what we saw from Magneterra earlier when they went up against Redacted came out playing that more defensive team-based style, and I don't know if the story might be the same. So that's going to be a very fun match to watch indeed.
All right, let's move up to the winners bracket here. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is a double elimination tournament here, brought to you by Space Esports. And tomorrow will be day 2. We're finish out all of the matches, but let's move on to the winners bracket. Saw Goons beat the Borrow now, and then we saw Redacted beat Magneterra. Now, Goons met up with Metamorphic in round 3 of the winners bracket, and they were able to defeat them 2-1. So it's going to be Goons versus Redacted in round 4 of the winners bracket, and that is the semifinals of the winners bracket. So who do you see coming out of that? As we've seen both of those teams, Goons and Redacted.
I mean, Goons made a statement in their first round, knocking off our first seed. So probably going to be heading there pretty soon. And let's not give them our expert prophesizes yet. That's not the right word, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Don't spoil the ending for these teams here. And with that, I think we're out of here.
Uh, One more thing, just to catch everyone up, this tournament will be continuing tomorrow right here on twitch.tv/space esports. Same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Standard Time, whatever you may call it, it's 7:30 p.m. here on the eastern side of the seaboard. My name
Sure.
is Blue. You can catch me on Twitter at RealBlueTV. My partner in crime is Setka. You can catch him at Setka, Setca. And don't forget to follow Space Esports at Space Esports. Thank you, and see you all tomorrow.